Oh, I'm in?
Yeah. Sorry, that was kind of anticlimactic.
No, hey, no worries. It's the 1980s. All of this technology is absolutely brand freaking new. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and welcome back. We have our Tales from the Loop adventure, What Happened to Sven? So this is our second episode and our last episode where our gang of meddlesome, pesky kids will try to uncover the mystery. But before we get into that story, Jonathan, let's kick it over to you for words from Mercenaries of Mischief.
Yes, just a reminder first off that this stream is sponsored by Hero Forge. We thank them so much for their support. They are a wonderful, wonderful website where you can design your perfect mini for your game or design unholy monsters. They drop new stuff. They add to their thousands of items that you can mix and match on your minis. And every Tuesday is especially when they drop special stuff. And this last Tuesday was extra special because they dropped those extra large wings that they have been hyping up since the Kickstarter, the 2.0 Kickstarter. So if you've been looking to make that perfect celestial or full-on demonic with the giant horrifying wings situation, go ahead and head over to heroforge.com. You can even make a shiny demon if you're doing a Pick of Destiny campaign, although we don't make other people's IP on our show Hero Factory, which you can check out on YouTube. Also, the rest of this month, lots of exciting things. Tomorrow I am going to be GMing a game of All Out Bubblegum with the help of our friend Your Narrator, who is going to be playing some of the NPCs as some of the folks from the Avalon Knights Academy find themselves in the town of Town, which is one of the surrounding towns that has not been visited. So it'll be side canon, Avalon Knights Academy Legends, we'll call it that. And then later this month, we're starting next week, in this time slot, there will be a new show from our good friend Kevin in a system of his own design, another super simplified system, a few more rules than All Out of Bubblegum, but it is it's going to be very interesting. It's kind of a history hop-in time cops sort of situation where we'll be trying to set things right in the timeline. So yeah, in addition to that and some other one-shots, including this guy over here is going to be doing an episode of Table Flip, running his first game for a bunch of very experienced dungeon masters and game masters, including our narrator here, CJ from Don't Stop Thinking, Lonnie from All Things D&D, and who is the fourth in that one?
It would be, is it Stephanie? I want to say it's Stephanie.
Oh yeah, Steph from Madbird Streams, one of the DMs over there, a great channel friend of ours. And those are all of my messages, so back to the narrator.
Awesome. Well, that's what we have coming up here on Mercenaries of Mischief. And when you're not watching all of the awesome content that we put out, a great game tomorrow, awesome game on Tuesday, there are some really cool people that are gracing me with their presence tonight as my players, and you can watch them all do some really awesome stuff. So if you feel like hopping on YouTube and watching some really cool videos and some play and all of that kind of stuff, Skylar, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Over at YouTube on Noctum Sky, or on YouTube at Noctum Sky. That's right.
And you can find Jonathan mostly here on Mercenaries of Mischief, but he's got his own thing. Where can they find that?
Occasionally, I like to pop open streams over on the Mad Maker. But as we've expanded our team around here and some people take some stuff off my plate, I might find myself with more time to do some stuff over there.
That's awesome. Beth is playing our Tiffany tonight, and you do a couple of things. You do a couple of crafty things.
Guy hands and stuff. I'm primarily a cosplayer when I'm not hopping on streams, and you can mostly find me on Twitter and Instagram under the name Arcady. So it's Arcady Cosplay everywhere if you want to see me build some armor.
Marina is playing Ren tonight, and she's no stranger to playing on podcast and stream. Where can they find you?
EM's Table on Twitter. I am part of the Roll with Advantage podcast.
Very fun podcast. A lot of really cool stuff. You might hear a very strange voiced person you're used to hearing if you check out their current story arc as well. And then absolutely just so happy to have you playing with us. RV playing Enid. And where can they check out some of the awesome roleplay work that you do?
I'm on the Rise of the Demigods podcast, which is an all-queer D&D podcast, and you can find it on the Gods Fall Twitch channel, the Gods Fall YouTube, or demigodsfall.com.
All righty. Oh, also, it has been brought to my attention that earlier when I was introducing everybody, I said, do your thang with an A, and I would like to issue my apologies to everyone. I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed. That's 90s, and this is the 80s. The 80s that never was. That is the world of Tales from the Loop. Our group of 5 kids ranging from 10 to 15 years old. They are children. They're in middle school and high school. They're best friends. They hang out. They've got a secret clubhouse, and they are trying to figure out the mystery of what's going on in their sleepy little town of Stenhammer. Stenhammer last year voted the most average town in all of Sweden. Has a couple of weird things going on, and not just the normal everyday weird like dino clones and hovering cars and repulsor bikes, because all of those things are completely normal in 1986 Sweden outside of the Loop, a giant particle accelerator that powers the world and makes for some very interesting things. Some very interesting things that also kind of messed our group of kids up last week. And we are going to jump right back into this story in a very fun, hopefully fun for all of you watching, way that I like to do our session recaps. I haven't told you what we did last episode. I hope you were watching it, and you can watch it on VOD. But one of the ways I like to do session recaps with Tales from the Loop is by going to all of our kids to get a short little scene. That's how this game plays out. A scene as they fill out their journal entries, their diary, their journal, whatever it is that they like to do there. So we're going to bounce from each one of them to get their perspective of what it was that happened on Monday night. So it is Tuesday. It's Tuesday late morning. You all have the next 2 days off of school. You aren't suspended because you didn't do anything wrong. Maybe that's what you think. Maybe that's what your parents think. Maybe you don't disagree on your school trip. So you're not suspended, but you have 2 days off of school to sort of collect yourselves. You slept in late, and I'm going to leave it pretty vague from there as we jump straight to Enid. Enid is sitting in front of his little black and white composition book. He's got his pen in front of him and is writing in his journal and sort of narratively speaking out loud as if we had the voiceover of what you were writing. What is it that happened over Monday that led you to the situation you find yourself in today? Bumped, bruised, hurt? And also make sure you, in your journal entry, talk to us about how you spent a little bit of time with your anchor to get rid of that condition of injured. Take it away.
Dear journal, I found out something very cool and odd and interesting, and I'm just kicking myself for not realizing this. But you know the Noahs, Noah and Rasmus, the Olsons? Well, I found out that Rasmus is an android, and that's really cool, but also really odd, and I'm not sure how we're going to navigate that going forward, or if it's going to cause any issues, or does Rasmus need to, does Rasmus know how to be a boy, or is that something we're going to have to teach him? I don't know, but it's really weird and odd, and I'm excited about it, but also I'm a little scared because we also found out some weird things have been happening in town. And on Monday, we went with the nurse to drop off some vaccines and records, and the bus broke down, and then the nurse left, and we were attacked by these raccoon robots, and there were so many of them, and we tried our best, and I got the bus going again, and we really worked together as a team to try to get out of this really scary situation, but it was too much for us, and the raccoons overcame the bus. So now I'm just kind of thinking about what happened, and I'm at home. They let us have a couple of days off, and Uncle Stellan has really he's really kind of listened to what's happened, and my parents are really kind of busy, and they're worried and everything, but I don't think they really heard me, but Uncle Stellan did, and that's where I am right now.
All right, very nice. Yeah, some major events that were found out by everyone in the chat and also everybody on stream. Some very interesting things about a certain android, I'm a real boy, situation going on with Rasmus and those darn robo raccoons. Absolutely. Whose scene will we take next? Whose journal or diary entry would like to go next? All right, let's bounce right over to Noah. Noah, I'm going to say you're sitting in front of your the big boxy Apple II built-in screen and CPU. It's got a 16 megabyte hard drive memory. And you've got your little green blinking diary entry open. All right, what do we got going on there?
I think that Noah's diary is essentially written like a case study or like an academic sort of paper. I guess case study on the effects of revealing realistic androids to the general populace. Reactions from subjects were pretty consistent. Shock, also concern, immediate feelings of empathy towards an automaton. Space, enter. Personal notes. I don't know whether to tell him. I always assumed that I would just never tell him. It would ruin the experiment, and it would kind of ruin our relationship. But Tiffany brought up a really good point. How long can I keep doing this, and how long is it going to be before I can focus on another project? Stopped by the hardware store, talked to we have a name for the hardware store owner?
I believe we do. It is on the character sheet, and his name is Hardware Store. It's not on the character sheet. I'm a liar. The hardware store owner's name is, if I just talk slower, Nidog. Mr. Heinrichsen. Nidog Heinrichsen.
Stopped by for some repair parts I needed after fiddling with Raz's amplification and sound output. Mr. Heinrichsen? I've already forgot.
Mr. Heinrichsen.
Mr. Heinrichsen didn't rub my face in it too much when I told him. You know, they said he always said everybody was gonna disagree with my choice to keep it quiet, and I just worry about him, you know? Will it break him? And then just sits there staring at the screen for a long time.
All right. Yeah. Nice Doogie Howser fade out moment. So did we just find out that not only does the entire family except for Razimus know, but also the guy who owns the hardware store knows?
He had to help me special order parts and materials.
I love it.
About the
No,
building process.
that is fantastic. There are no wrong answers in Tales from the Loop. I think that's fantastic. Whose diary entry should we go to next? What all happened to you from your perspective? Whose fault was it? What was going on? Blah, blah, blah. On Monday. And how did you spend time with your anchor to get rid of your condition? Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, Tiffany.
Tiffany has absolutely a diary, the very traditional diary, and starts out, "Dear diary," and
Is there the tiny little key lock?
there's a little key that I think I'm the
Perfect.
only one who knows how to open it, but they're really generic and anyone can. So, "Dear diary," and I dot my I with a heart, like you do. I don't think I like raccoons anymore. They are not cute close up, although I'm not sure they actually even were raccoons, diary. They had speakers in their mouths? I don't know if that's biological or not, but they really hurt. I don't really understand technology, so I don't know, but it hurt a lot and left us all pretty scratched up, and I don't know if I should follow my friends into the woods without thinking too hard about it anymore, because that was a little bit sketchy, but I guess I shouldn't abandon them. They all seem like they're going through some stuff, especially Noah and Rasmus. That was weird, diary, and I don't know what to make of it, but I think I just need to focus on maybe helping Rasmus just get through his exams next month, because I know he's struggling with that, and that seems important and all I can do. I came home and I bandaged up my hands because the raccoons scratched me up pretty badly because I tried to pet them. I thought they'd be friendly. They weren't. And I painted my toenails with Aunt Alma, and we talked about music and colors we liked, and she didn't know too much about raccoons, but, you know, she smiled a lot and went along with it, I guess. I think that's it, diary. I'm still hoping to volunteer for the dance committee in the next couple days, because that's really important to me. I know that'll look good on my resume, and a lot of my other friends are expecting me to help out too, so I hope the formal still goes on. Thanks, diary. Love you. And I put little hearts everywhere.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Okay, so then 1985. I believe that's when Cujo came out, chat. All right, so no, 85 was Christine. Sorry, ADD moment. Rin, why don't we bounce over to Rin? What is her journal like? What's going on there? I love the idea that Rin has a little voice recorder. She's got these tapes and all that kind of stuff all over the place, so that like into a voice recorder. That's how you take your journal. So if you like that, run with it. If not, let it be in a book. But yeah, what was Monday like from Ren's perspective?
I do like that because I picture her just wearing her headphones a lot at home. So I will run with that. Today's Wednesday, or I guess it doesn't matter when I'm writing it, but
It's like Tuesday. It's like 11 o'clock Tuesday ish.
okay. So going back to school was interesting, and not because of school itself, even though that kind of sucked, but because I got chased with my friends by some monsters. And that was terrifying. I don't understand how there can be dozens and dozens of these little raccoon machines in the forest and no one has ever heard or seen of them before. That makes no sense to me. Anyways, meeting with the raccoons did not go very well at all. Got home and my parents didn't even really notice that I got home really late and that I was all scratched up because they were busy arguing because they had just met the lawyer again. So that was both good and bad. Yesterday I also went and I talked to Maury, the conspiracy guy, about the raccoon robots because, again, they didn't just appear out of nowhere. I know there's something going on with the loop that the adults aren't telling us. And when they act like nothing is wrong, that just further underlines that there's something wrong. Finally, apparently Rasmus is part robot. And I don't really know how to feel about that, so I'm just gonna pretend he's not and treat him like I've been doing, because that's weird.
Guys, I love it. I can't think of anything more like appropriately teenage, and I'm not being dismissive or derisive at all. Just be like, I don't understand this, so I'm gonna pretend it doesn't exist.
Yep.
That's
feelings. What's feelings?
That is so fantastic. Well, and that I wanted to be able to end with our very own Rasmus, because your Monday is completely from your perspective. So I would love to hear what it is that Rasmus knows happened. Why does he think things are going on? And who knows, we might find out that there are things that Rasmus understands and knows that nobody else realizes he does. Your journals are all completely safe and confidential in this world. No one will ever discover them. So what is it? First of all, what kind of journal does Rasmus have? What do you think, Sky?
I think it's gotta be in the anthology cube. There's gotta be like an interface where I can just type a little note app in there.
Nice.
Since I keep that on my person.
Nice. Yeah, you invented a swipe to text. So perfect. I like it. I love it. Swipe to text in Naruto run. All thanks to Rasmus. All right. So then, let's hear it. Sort of from his first person perspective. What does Rasmus's journal entry sound like?
Ninja training log. Day 967. This weekend was a lot different than any of the other weekends recently, and honestly from any of the other ones I've had anyway, and my training was truly put to the test. I was really overwhelmed trying to help Noah with the nurse with the secret mission we do every now and again. I've only been on one other one, but this one was a little more rough, but I think he managed to do what he needed to do. But then we got on the bus to go take all the kids to the place. I always forget what it is, but we got left alone because the bus crashed, and like all these raccoon like robot things. I saw the, like in parentheses, I saw the inside of one, and it was like all machine. It was really scary, question mark, in parentheses. I did the only thing I could think to do, and I stood my ground on top of the bus, and I played the Scroll Ninja theme to help drive me, and I stood my ground, but like it wasn't enough. And like they got through and they hurt everybody. Like everybody's okay, but like we were all pretty rough. And like this just tells me I need to train harder. It was not a good time, and when the adults got there, they didn't understand at all. So by the time I got home, I was so exhausted and I was a little hurt, and I wanted to go hang out with Grandma, but for some reason Noah insisted that he come help me like with my wounds. I don't, he always has been like that, but Grandma knows what she's doing. But I went and she and I watched like a clip from Ninja Scroll and talked about everything. And like between you and me, I think I figured it out. I think the rival ninjas that live underground somehow have managed to create robot animals. And I think it's going to be my test to take down this organization and figure out what's going on for my town. I'll report back later. Yeah.
My dear sweet boy.
Rival underground ninja clan makes robot raccoons. Well, folks, he figured it out. That's the end of the story. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry that it was a short episode tonight. Find us tomorrow. And no. Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. We've had so there we go. The major things that happened to us all on one day. So our Sunday before class started, we're all hanging out at the hideout at the old abandoned guard shed that you guys have all tricked out. There was a screaming, roaring underground tremor, and it freaked everybody out. We rode home. We went back. We had our first day back to classes, volunteered to help the nurse bring a bunch of files and a bunch of medical supplies. A lot of people have been working really hard to figure out what those medical supplies were. They were medical supplies full of plot hook, and and the bus was waylaid by our mechanical raccoon ninjas, apparently. The nurse did show up along with a state trooper type person and a tow truck driver. Parents were called. Everybody met. People were worried. There was a lot of, oh my God, baby, are you okay? What were you doing out? How could you let them do this? Don't you know that it's dangerous? And you've been given a couple of days off of class. Nobody's in trouble. Nobody's grounded. Everyone's parents just wants them to rest and be safe. And they know that it's important for you to be able to talk to and see your friends. Everyone's just really concerned that you're okay. That's the biggest thing. But you're not grounded. You're not unable to leave the house, but there might be a little bit of trying to convince the folks to let you out for some of you. For some of you, your parents are at work or in the barn or whatever, and they might not even notice. But we do come to about lunchtime, a little after lunchtime on our Tuesday. Everybody's starting to get a little bit lonely, missing your friends, wondering how everyone else was doing. Real quick, let's go ahead and have everybody pull up their character sheet, and you can click on to remove your condition of injured. Now, Skylar, that does mean you do still have the condition of exhausted. Everything, your poor little android ninja 10-year-old body is still tired. So you do still have that condition. I've given you all of your luck points back, those of you that still have luck, so that is absolutely there. but everyone else that had injured clicked, you can get rid of that one, which means you won't have penalties to all of your rolls. And that'll let us jump straight into things. I do want to go through real quickly. Maybe your parents were home, maybe they weren't, maybe one was. I don't know what's going on, but just because I'm super interested and we're gaming during dinner and I'm hungry. So, Enid, what'd you have for lunch on Tuesday?
I think I would have had. I think my mom probably would have made me another peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and was probably doting over me way too much and constantly asking if there was anything else I needed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Good old mom stuff. She went out of her way early this morning. She went to the grocery store and she picked up, she thinks it's absolutely fantastic. She said, "Now, Enid, I got this just for you. It's brand new from America. The peanut butter and the jelly are both in the jar. It's disgusting, by the way. It's way too sweet. It tastes like pure sugar, but she loves you and she tried." Rin, what did you do for lunch?
Goober.
Goober.
If I remember correctly.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess junk food is starting to be a thing.
Oh yeah, if you need junk food is totally a thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I probably had a sandwich of some sort, like ham and Swiss or something, and Coke, and some Gushers.
Nice, absolutely. Yeah. Is Pepsi okay? No, sounds absolutely fantastic. What was Tiffany's lunch like? Your dad stayed home from work today. Absolutely. He's so worried about you. He tried way too hard, so lunch was way over the top. What was lunch like?
Lunch, he tried to do like every comfort food at once. So it's spaghetti, he ordered pizza too, he tried to do a meatloaf, and like, he's not the greatest cook though, let's be real. Mom was the better cook and she doesn't live with us anymore, and Aunt Alma tried to help, but you know, they're just, domesticity is not their strongest suit, but they try. So we just have too much comfort food in the house right now. There's fried chicken and 8 kinds of delivery and cocoa, and it's just more food than 3 people can eat.
Oh wow. Yeah, it looks like a wake.
Mhm.
Oh, great. And then Noah and Rasmus, what was lunch? And I don't know if your dad necessarily stayed for lunch. You can tell me that if he did or didn't. But I will say one way or the other, he left a note. He left a note for the both of you. So what was lunch, and what did the note say? How did he try to show that he cared?
I think that Noah pretty much first thing in the morning after writing his diary to try to get out of his own head, went out to, he probably has a little workshop corner in the loft of the barn, and went to start doing repairs on his hoverboard, which he had stripped down. And I think that there was a note left there for him.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, there's like, the loft is mostly your grandparents' little apartment, but there's like a little hallway that runs down. So you've got something there. You've got like egg cartons and stuff nailed to the wall so it doesn't make too much noise. There's the note. Cool. So that's where the note was. What'd the note say?
I think the note was just was there with a little spool of wire, and it just said something simple like, I know you can handle it.
Nice. That's cool. I like it.
And then eventually Grandma insisted I eat some leftovers.
Okay. So with that note, is it a moment where, which way does it go? Is that a moment where Noah's like, maybe the old man's not quite so bad, or does he take it as a like, well, of course I can handle it. I have to handle everything. Like, which way
I
does it
think
go?
it's the latter. Yeah.
It's the latter. Boy, Dad just can't break through. It's tough sometimes. Yeah, and then Grandma comes out. Rasmus is already in there, halfway through his plate. What did Grandma make for lunch, Raz?
It's got to be like, I don't know if Sweden had it, but here on this farm they do. It's soul food. It's like fried chicken and like collard greens and like stuff. And she served me my juice in my favorite collectible jam jar glass that I have. It's got the Scroll Ninja characters on it. So
I'm pretty sure we can say Ninja Scroll. I think we can.
I know, but I like it better being.
I do too now. I do too now. Actually, not gonna lie. Yeah, absolutely. Just comfort food, low food, absolutely delicious, fantastic. Okay, so that's what we had for lunch. But by this time, it's so cool. It's just such a nice look at what everybody's family is like. But by this time, everybody has talked to their parents that are around or whoever's around and said, look, I'm okay. I have to check on how everybody's doing. So all of you have decided to meet back up at the clubhouse, at the hideout, and at your guys' special place. But not a lot of you live next to each other. Noah, Rasmuth, and Enid are next door neighbors, but we've got a little bit of space even between all of them. So Rin, what is the special way that you all can kind of get in touch with each other? Maybe not immediately, but to let everyone know, hey, we're meeting up. What's the signal that goes out? What is the special thing? Is it a ham radio? Is it walkie-talkies? Is it a firework, Roman candles? What is the way that you can call an emergency hangout at the clubhouse?
I think you're muted.
I think Enid has a ham radio, but I like the idea of walkie-talkies for teenagers.
Nice.
Because then even though anyone else could be on the same channel, it feels like it's only those 5 walkie-talkies that can listen in.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So yeah, you've got, I mean, it's the 80s. There's telephones as well, but yeah, you've each got one sort of walkie-talkie, and Rasmus and Noah, like maybe it hangs someplace in the barn or on the back porch, which you guys don't use that much. But you don't want everybody listening in. You don't want everybody to know your business. Just like Ren said, anybody could be on your channel. So Tiffany, what is the special sound or phrase or beeps or whatever? What's the special code thing that goes out on the walkie in order to let everybody know, get to the clubhouse now?
Also, yeah.
I think it's got to be some sort of Morse code, some little signal. Not quite SOS, but like... Oh, I'm trying to think of a good acronym.
All right. I like it. Yes, it's just a little like...
not an SOS. Anyone else can chime in if they have a quick Clubhouse acronym that I can't think of. But yeah, kind of something slightly in code that if you heard it, you'd be like, what does COW mean?
Yeah, there we go. So you got a special little, because you hit the button, but you can hit it out rhythmically. And yeah, all of you, and I don't know which one of you does it, but one of you does it. You can, when we get to the next scene, one of you will tell me who it was. But yeah, sure enough, you're all close enough to the walkie-talkie that you can hear it, and you hear the beeps. You hear the little clicks that you all know exactly what it is. It's the clicks from the opening of Africa by Toto. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. And you know you have to get to the clubhouse right away.
Confirm though with the do, 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 do.
And so you hop on your bikes, skateboards, hover bikes, what have you, and get to the clubhouse. So just as a reminder for all of us, because it is a two-shot, for a reminder for all of us, and just to let some of the chat know so they can scream into the chat room and we'll ignore them. So some of the major places that are in town, the people that you know, the things that are going on that are important. We have the arcade/pizza place called Hollywood Pizza. that is run by an American, Danny Richards. There's your school, of course. There's the hardware store. There's Technotica Records. The Chippy Shopper Grocery Shop. There's a movie rental, Langford's movie rental place. There is The Loop, of course. And there's Old Man Johnson's Farm that was recently bought by a land developer. And the rumor is that next week it's going to be Stenhammer's very first shopping mall. There's all of your houses, and there is your hideout. So those are some of the major places that we have in town. So you all meet up at the clubhouse. Everybody's feeling a little bit better. Some band-aids, some scrapes, a couple of bruises. Rasmus looks a little tired, but overall we're okay. You all just had a major event. Sven, the 7-year-old, is still a missing person, and there's a lot of craziness going on in your town. What do we do from here? How are we going to solve this mystery?
So, sorry for calling y'all out of the blue, but I think we need to address what happened. Did anyone believe you about the raccoons?
Not really. They believed me that there were raccoons, but just that they were raccoons.
We all saw it though, right? Like
Yeah.
They were speakers or something. They were robots, and it maybe has something to do with the missing kid, because they seem to be coming after us. Did anyone figure out what they wanted?
They took some of the vaccines, right?
Yeah, they took them from my hand and mauled me pretty good, and then they stole them off the bus.
What do ninjas need with vaccines?
Because ninjas don't need vaccines because they're super ninja immune system.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's all related. Sven disappearing recently, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these terrifying raccoon robots, and whatever that thing was that was chasing us. For all we know, Sven was walking in the woods one day and got kidnapped by it.
Want to know what he was doing when he disappeared?
And like, if the raccoons aren't actually raccoons, did someone have to build them? Who built an army of speaker raccoons? That's weird.
And like, is it for spying? Like, why do they have the microphones in them?
They can split open. I saw one do it. They go like this at the face, and they're full of like hands and wires.
There is a lot of research in the. I was reading about it in Popular Mechanics, and they're talking about swarm robots, like real small. They call them like microbots or mini bots. I don't remember, but real small robots that can kind of work together like ants, and it's easier to replace them than maintaining one large robot, I would assume.
Yeah, because maintaining one large robot is a ton of work, right, guys?
I have to imagine.
Oh.
Yeah, do you think why would the raccoons want the vaccines? That's why they attacked us. So I don't know, maybe we can. I mean, I think Ren, you brought it up earlier, like where were we taking those things?
I think we need to find out what kind of tests are actually being done at that lab. That might give us a clue.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't like to look when they're doing the shot, but it's just a regular shot, right?
I guess, but you can put anything in a syringe. Like, maybe it's not a vaccine.
But they would give it to all of the school kids? That sounds really bad.
And then take it back.
And then take it, yeah.
Well, I've never really asked. Is that like the results from testing and paperwork or something, or is it just like extras? Maybe we should ask Nurse Enid. Just out of curiosity, like it's for the school paper or something.
Yeah, kind of get a lead off of her and then figure out.
Would you have, if we could have Ren make just a mind check for me, just a straight up mind roll. See what we've got going on there. Oh, hey, look at that. Success, first roll of the night, and we have our success. You only need one success. You're sort of, Noah's just kind of like, what if we do this? And Ren's just sort of like, well, I guess we could do that. Sort of doing that thing where you look around while you mull something over, and you notice Enid's holo projector. And his holo projector, like, it's not just the normal kind that you can buy at a Radio Shack. Like, he took a bunch of different parts and he put it together because it plays old wax cylinders. It can play records. It can play VHS. And it dawns on you that Enid's holo projector can play Betamax tapes. Ooh. And you're pretty sure in your backpack, you've got that goofy tape that you found over the fall break. And it just sort of like pops in your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely kept that on me. Hey, Enid.
Yeah?
So I got the other day when I went to pick up some music, I somehow got a weird Betamax CD on accident. It looks like your machine can play Betamax. Do you mind if I use it for a minute?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And then I put the Betamax in.
Yeah, so you put the tape in, and you turn off the Christmas lights and all of that kind of stuff. You've got it playing, and like it takes a second. It makes like the weird sound, and you have to open it up and like get a screwdriver and like tighten the tape back down and put it back in. It takes you a couple of tries because it's a beat up old tape. But then the holo projector sort of comes to life, and it tries to interpolate this 2D media, and it pops it up. And what you see is a lot of static and this little holograph projection of a figure. Like, it looks like maybe they're wearing like a hoodie or a robe, or maybe it's just a really bad tape. So you can't like see the person, but you can see like their eyes a little bit, and you can see like what looks like maybe they've got like a really like big round-ish nose. Like, it looks very, very strange. And it starts playing, and it cuts in and out a lot. It's not in great condition, but you're able to understand and make out a little bit of what it is that you can hear on the tape. This person seems to be like they've set it up to record themselves. Okay. And as you play it, what you're able to hear the figure say, and they're speaking in like a very low whisper, so you're not really able to tell if it's a guy or a woman as they lean into the microphone. But what you hear them say is, Stenhamra is perfect locale, population mostly. Infiltration of key, educate, law and leisure, forest areas secluded, all for the glory of Skull. Click clunk. And it starts to rewind itself. And it just plays that sort of on loop. And that's all you're able to make out from it.
Well, that's not terrifying.
The one thing on the second or third, oh, let's do a roll. Let's do it. You're the one that's watching, but let's say Enid's trying to figure out, Enid and Noah are both trying to figure out why the tape isn't working. And
I was gonna say, like, maybe we could tinker with it a little.
yeah, and Rasmus definitely knows that this is a message from the leader of the underground ninja robot raccoon, whatever. So that leaves Tiffany to just make a straight up mind check to see if there's anything that you notice while everyone else thinks they know what they're looking for.
Yes, there is.
2 successes. So,
Nice.
with 2 successes, which is very, very fun. First of all, you do notice at the very end, it says that glory of Scrot, and then it cuts out. And there's a weird shadow in the tape. And you finally recognize, you know exactly what that shadow is. In the biology lab, there's a tank with a big iguana in it. The iguana will like flip its tail every once in a while when it's really happy. And that shadow in the back behind this speaker is that happy, contented tail flip of the iguana.
Wow.
But you did get 2 successes.
Yeah.
Which means I have to open the book.
I'm making up for my abysmal raccoon performance.
Hey, you know what? That was such a tough. That's essentially, those extended tests are essentially the way that we do boss fights in Tales from the Loop. So you got 2 successes, which means off of. Oh, I'm looking for something. You get to ask me a question. It has to pertain to the tape and what it is that you're watching. But you get to ask me a very specific question about the tape, the message, what you're seeing, the figure, and to the best of my ability to answer it, I have to tell you the truth.
That feels
Given the
so
situation,
OP.
given where Tiffany is, given everything that's happened in the last couple of days, what is your question? What does Tiffany need to know?
Who's the person in the hoodie? Yeah, who's the one saying this?
The person in the hoodie. So, and this is the truth. I'm not trying to be obtuse or anything
That's
like
cool.
that. You have one frame and you run up and you stop and you there's a little ring disc type thing that you're able to turn and it like goes back 2 or 3 frames at a time and you're able to stop it. It's not that I'm not telling you who the person is. You get one tiny frame that's as clear as you can. It's not crystal clear, but it's not a big bulbous nose. That's what you all thought it was. You can see the big rounded end that flattens out almost like a crocodile, nostrils, and ridged eyebrows, and unblinking or sideways blinking slit eyes. And it's not that this person just has a really bad skincare routine and needs to have some shea butter or something. It's clearly covered in scales in that one frame.
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group and try and get their attention from their tinkering and say, guys, I know this sounds a little crazy, but considering what we saw yesterday, I actually don't think it's all that crazy. I think they might be a lizard person, and I think the iguana's in on it too.
And Tiffany steps aside, and they're like, I mean, let's call a pop culture reference a pop culture reference. It is the staticky, blue, glowing, 3D original Star Wars image of a cloaked, cowled reptilian hominid perfectly frozen in the frame.
Iguana.
Can I ask for a point of clarification?
Yeah.
On one thing. You said we saw Tiffany saw the tail flip in the background. I want to make sure I understood this. Was it implying there was just a tail flip in behind it, or was it there was the iguana case tail flip behind it?
It is implying that the thing Tiffany was going to notice with one success was a creepy tail flip.
Gotcha. Okay.
Beth rolled 2 successes and got the whole frickin' story. But yeah, no, it's the tail flip of this creature, not that it's not standing in the biology lab at the school.
So we can assume that the
Or
tail
is
is
it?
connected to the figure speaking.
Yes, you can assume that the tail is connected to the figure that is speaking.
Well, I'm going to pull out my conspiracy pamphlet and look for a section on lizard people.
On lizard people, yeah.
I'm pretty sure from session 0, you both got one of the very many weird stories was a story about lizard people.
I think both Enid and Marita pull theirs out at the same time, and they're like,
Wait a second.
Yeah, so they're
sorry.
flipping through this like hand printed, and sometimes the printer doesn't work, and sometimes there's a different printer, like
Maria's
news
from different libraries and.
There is a story, and the story. So the story in general talks about how that the lizard people have been members of the shadow government that have been running everything since the Council of Nicaea, and that some of the most prominent people, the Gettys, the Rothschilds, the Queen of England, the Raj, the Emperor of Japan, are all probably lizard people. But there is one section that says the way that it affects your local area is that the lizard people find the loop to be an abomination to their lizard deity, Sklar. Which sounds a whole lot like the word that got cut off at the end of the Betamax.
Okay.
Oh, wait, are they? What?
There's
What? But so is Sklar the thing in the woods?
There's lizard people are real?
I mean, raccoons with speakers are real, so why not lizard people?
Yeah.
Maybe it's a robot lizard person?
The rival ninja clan is run by a lizard man. This is my destiny.
Do we know? So, how many lizards are there in town? I know there's the iguana in the biology classroom, but I mean, there's not a lot of lizards in general.
Well, it's Sweden, right? Not
I mean, I'm going to
really.
go on a loop. I'm going to go on a limb and say that I don't think that there's a lot of lizards in Sweden. Hold on. Let me nondescript search engine that real quick.
I mean,
I don't know if they have a tiny pet store.
we could like interrogate the biology iguana, because if iguana people can talk, maybe the iguanas can talk?
Parrots can talk.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I mean, if
mean-
it's in your pamphlets, then why don't you just go ask the guy who made the pamphlet where they live, and we can go like sneak in?
we could also see if Maury has more information that he did not put in the letters.
Yeah, I think that's a good lead.
Mhm.
We could definitely do that. This seems so much right now, like talking raccoons and this hologram thing and talking and the lizard person and the Sklar deity. I mean, this is what have we uncovered?
Yeah, it's been a lot. I'm still really tired, and you see my eyes flicker for a second. And Game Master Narrator Ryan, I have a request that you can see how you feel about. I would like to impose my exhausted condition. I would like to impose the resolution of that on my brother Noah. I would like to suggest that whatever he did to me on the bus overloaded something that runs my energy. And until I get a scene sometime with him where he replaces that part, either knownst or unbeknownst to me, I will be exhausted.
I have no problem with that. So technically, the way conditions work rule-wise with this is you either can take care of a condition by meeting with your anchor, your grandmother, and your grandma took care of your injured one. Or one of the ways that you can get rid of a condition is having a role play scene based on the condition, or based on healing the condition with another character, with another one of the players. So yeah, we'll just say that that will be the way that you have to deal with that one. And that absolutely makes sense to me.
So yeah, Noah.
It sounds like the next scene that I as a narrator need to jump to, and I love this one. It got mentioned, and I'm gonna use GM's narrator's fiat to say the next scene that we'll do, as far as my part of the story will go, will be with the 5 kids talking Maury, because that's too good to go.
Oh, yes.
Maury, the conspiracy theorist, he has a bunch of like hidey hole bunkers all over town. You think he's homeless? Nah, he's got a lot of homes. That's the next scene that I would like to go to. But I want to ask, and Skylar, it's funny that you mentioned this one. I wanted to ask, does anybody have a scene specifically about their problem or their condition that they want to deal with before we make it to that one? So Sky, this is absolutely a way that we can actually jump to this, and you guys can ride off on your own, or say, hey, we got to stop by someplace and deal with it. We can find a way to deal with this, and it could be a very interesting role play centered moment to deal with that condition now. You can let it ride if you want to a little bit longer, or anybody else is free to say, I would like to find a way to make a scene work that is centered on my problem, or centered on, and you tell me. Tales from the Loop isn't just me saying what the next scene is. My next scene as the narrator is the 5 of you with Maury, but we have time for 1 or maybe 2 short scenes that anybody else wants to dictate to, tell me what they want to do. So the 5, one of you tell me, what's our next scene?
Yeah, I think I was able to help with the basic surface repairs last night, but I had to wait until I got parts this morning to repair the power source. And
Yeah, we can say that there's a little stash in the hideout. So, Skylar, are you good with that? Are you good to jump to the scene where that does get taken care of?
Oh yeah, I'm totally fine. As far as all you know or anybody else has seen is Raz has just been complaining about being tired, and occasionally his eyes will look a little dimmer than normal.
And now that everybody else knows, I won't. Really
Yeah,
make a
that was
point
going to
of
be my
pointing
thing. So
everyone
yeah,
out.
we're gonna take a scene that does focus on Rasmus getting recharged. I think quite literally now. But I guess Noah, it's going to be your call. Does this scene take place away from the rest, or are they gonna be are they all there for it because they all know?
Yeah, I think they all know now, so he's not going to make any point of like ushering people out. But yeah, before we go, it'll just be like, hey, Raz, are you feeling all right? It's kind of a big move yesterday.
Yeah, I'm still really tired. I don't know if I didn't sleep well.
I think maybe I just I think you need ninja acupuncture to get your strength back. And I kind of look around at everybody, just like, shut up.
So that's actually a great moment for me to jump in there. You've all known each other for years. There's the craziness of what happened on Tuesday night. Now all of the years of Noah's acquiescing to this ninja stuff. Do the three of you, Ren, Enid, Tiffany, do you let him get away with the ninja acupuncture, or is it too much for any of you? Finally, does somebody speak up? And if so, what gets said?
I think I'm just gonna go with it.
Mhm.
Like I'm like, yeah, ninja acupuncture will that we need to clear a spot, right? And Rasmus, you just need to like lay down and what is acupuncture?
It's an ancient Eastern medicine with the placement of needles to help the chakra flow.
And Enid, you definitely notice. I'll say you're the only one, unless narratively somebody else wants to. You're the one that notices that those chakra needles are definitely little tiny screwdrivers.
Right. I'm like, oh yeah. Makes total sense. That I think that's exactly what you need, Rasmus.
Nice. Skylar, can you please have Rasmus make an either a empathize. Yeah, an empathize or a comprehend. Those are both mine. So mind if you don't have it, but comprehend or empathize if you do. All right, so that's nothing off of mind. Oh, but we've got, that was my thing, so there. But you do still have 3 points for empathize, so feel free to roll that bonus die 3 times for empathize. 1, 2.
No, I clicked it the third time. It's stuck.
Okay, there it is. Pop through. So you got 1 success. So I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna force you to notice something if you don't want to narratively. Well, what I will say that you do notice is that Enid is super into helping, and Ryan am watching Beth and Marina's faces, and I'm going to say that those are the same faces that Ren and Tiffany are making, that are both just kind of like, yeah,
Tiffany is like shooting daggers at Noah a little bit of like, we're gonna fix this later, not right now.
So I will say that I will say it's there, and you do with it what you want. That Razimus notices that Enid is a little awkwardly enthusiastic, and that Ren and Tiffany are both a lot like, this is some bullshit, but just do it.
Guys, it's okay. Like he's doing that behind me, and I noticed. I'm like, guys, it's okay. They're just needles. Like I'm strong. Stab me. Stab me. I can take it. It's just like that.
All right, you're gonna feel a little pinch, and I go about. There's a spot where like the skin can kind of be like loosened up to access a panel, and basically just need to swap out a battery or transformer, some shit. I don't know. Electrical engineering is not my strong suit. But Noah knows. He might not have the right terminology for it, though.
Am I going to be medically dead for a moment?
No, you got multiple power sources. It's just that like only one of them is still working.
Ooh, cool.
Oh, I thought that was in character.
Oh
no. Okay, that all sounds fantastic.
And while he's doing this, he's not making any point of like hiding it. It's kind of he's kind of looking around like, if you're curious, now's the time to look.
I would like you get the battery replaced. The hatch, the port, the whatever is still open. And we're going to say it's a fairly large port. I would like all of you to make move checks. That's body. If you don't have it, move as well if you do.
Okay.
And as you roll, keep track of what you see. It looks like Arcady's got one. All right, so Tiffany's got a success. Nothing for Noah, nothing for Enid, nothing for Ren. Who hasn't rolled?
Do I need to roll for this?
Oh, yeah. Roll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good. And then do one bonus one, Raz, for. Okay, and there's not. Okay, so that's great. So the ground starts to shake. You hear the low roaring screech sound that you heard on Sunday. It sounds loud. The ground, it lasts longer. The ground shakes even more, to the point where a couple of plants, oh no, your plants, fall over. Some records tumble out of the milk crates. The mini fridge topples over, and the plywood that is on top of the cinder blocks that that Razimus is laying on, one of the cinder blocks slips off. And so Ren, Enid, Noah, you all sort of like lose your footing and fall on your butt, or you fall into a couch or a sofa that's nearby. Razimus, you sort of the table shifts and you start to roll, and you try to like combat ninja roll, and you don't do it well. But Tiffany is right there, and she seems to have her footing really good, and she sort of like grabs you around the waist and grabs you by the shoulder and has you so that you don't tumble, and helps pick you up. The shaking subsides. I'm going to say that in the tussle for all of it, the back panel that covers your battery thing gets closed, but for just a split second before it closes, in one of the mirrors that's fallen from the wall, Ren or Rasmus, you see clearly your back opened up, hinged, full of gears, servos, and wires, and a big lithium battery that's been plugged in. And you see, you don't know if she did it on purpose or if it was just an accident. You see Tiffany sort of nudge you in a way that it causes it to close, and the seam perfectly seals up, and you can touch it and you can't feel anything, but you know you saw what it is that you saw. And as we fade out on that, does anybody else have a scene that focuses on one of their character traits between the hideout and Maury's place that they want to jump in on? If you've got something based off of your problem or your anchor that you want to go see, which can just be for role play stuff, even if you don't have a condition. Does anybody else have a scene that they want that they would like to focus on real quick before we get to Maury's?
I don't have a scene, but I do want to clarify Ren's kind of look at all of this is she doesn't like the lying, and both Noah and Rasmus are her friends, so she can't really pick sides right now, but she's not impressed that everyone in the group seems be okay lying about it, and so she's not going to participate in like encouraging the ninja training stuff.
Nice, awesome. Then I will just, what I will hold you to every once in a while as a narrator is as we have these narrative and role play moments, just keep that in mind. And kids aren't stupid, but also a 13-year-old doesn't always have the life experience to perfectly massage the situation, and sometimes they just say stuff. But no, I love it. I love that that's developing, and I think everybody can sort of see that. Maybe you don't know why, but you can all see that Ren is in that, like, I don't like what's going on. I don't like this. I don't like that this is what's happening. It's happened before in the past, and even if you don't know what it is, you know that she's not thrilled with something. All right. So there's that one. Enid or Tiffany, do you have a scene that you want us to focus on with you, or do we head to... All right, there we go. So we find ourselves at Maury's place. You've all sort of heard Ren talk about her friend Maury in the past. The degree to which she's told you about Maury is completely up to you to figure out. That's fine. So maybe you all know the story. Maybe you know all of the story. Maybe you only know a little bit. But you all know that there's sort of this weird, kooky guy who always has petitions that he wants you to sign. He's got pamphlets for people. Every once in a while, he's standing out with signs, and the sheriff has to like ask him to move along. Sometimes he's just asking for change. Like, you sort of recognize him. Some days he looks kind of homeless. Some days he looks like militant and well put together. Some days he looks absolutely like a little culty. Some days he looks like he just, didn't have time to brush his hair. He's a eclectic looking guy. You all find yourself at Maury's place. Maury has a lot of places.
Does Ren often spend Tuesdays here? It is a Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday. How many? That's actually a really great question. Rin, how many times have you been not just met with Maury someplace, but how many times have you been to one of Maury's hideouts, squats, what have you?
I would think something like a dozen or so times. And how Ren knows where Maury is he has like a crossword on the back page, and there's little ways to decipher the crossword into saying where he is every day of the week.
Yeah, it's a code within a code. Yeah. Absolutely. And so Maury's got dozens and dozens of these little hidey spots, and some of them are, like apartments that are fully furnished, and you think it's really nice, and then you notice, Ren, you've noticed like, oh wow, this is actually your place, and then like all of the pictures, Maury's not in any of those pictures. All the way down to like clearly a fort built out of pallets and everything in between. But what I would love to hear is, let's hear Tiffany describe what it's like as you are led to this hideout of Maury's. You set the scene. So you've got the gamut. There's the whole range of the kinds of places it can be. You tell us where Maury is hunkered down today.
We have stumbled upon one of his pamphlet making locations. So there are several varying kinds of printers in varying ages, including some letter block printing, because he's going to get the word out one way or another. So there's very cluttered with paper and ink and photos that he's trying to print. Is scanning a thing yet?
Mimeograph.
You could like print them.
Yeah. Like,
you have to put them in a printer. Like you got to take the picture and put it physically in a printer and then print it. So he's got some photographs that he's scanning, bits of newspapers lying around, one of those big boards that has all the strings connecting things.
Oh yeah, he definitely has a red string board. Absolutely fantastic. Rin, have you been to this specific location before, or is this a new one for you?
I'll say I've been here before.
You've been to this one before. That's awesome. So you come up to it's really weird because there's like a window, so you can see all of this kind of stuff. There's no glass in the window. You could just kind of hop over it if you want. But then there's a door right next to that window. And like written in chalk, it says, "Bell out of order. Please knock." All right, so you knock on the door, and you watch
looking through the window.
You watch Maury like walk across the room and like lean out of the broken window to look at all of you, and he's like, Rin, hold on a second. And then he leans back into the building, and you hear him walk to the door, and the like metal plate slides open. And he says, "Who's there?"
Ren's here.
What's the answer? But the real one from this week.
Dolphin.
It's a word. It's just a word that was the puzzle within the puzzle.
Yeah.
What was the actually, Enid, you found one of these, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You figured it out. So Enid pops up. Enid cuts Ren off. What is the word within a word for this week?
Kumquat.
All right. Yeah. So I love the idea that Enid actually still has the there, and he's like, kumquat. And and you see Maury like look past Ren and at Enid and says, "You've brought a neophyte. 1 second." It slams it closed, and you hear it all these locks, and then you see and hear the doors like try to open, and it's stuck. And you see him try again, and you hear him push it back, closed a little bit again, and then you see Maury like climb out the window next to you guys. He says, "Sorry, boy, watch. Excuse me." And he pushes the door open so he's outside with you. He pushes the door open. He says, "Hold on, wait here." And then he climbs back in through the window.
Should we push
and walks around to the open door and says, "All right, come in. But only if you're willing to accept the truth."
On the way
there.
On the way over, I've told everyone that Maury is a bit eccentric and passionate, but he's not actually that terrifying. He just comes across that way.
Looking over at Tiffany, because I really
You've been told that.
don't want to go in there.
I'm a little genuinely terrified.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just walk on in.
All right, yeah. She walks straight in.
I make Noah go before me.
Just push.
I would have readily gone in after Ren.
So Ren and Rasmus walk straight in. Tiffany pushes Noah.
And in the meantime, I'm like behind them, watching them, like.
And and so you all get in, and you see Maury there. He says, "Have a seat, please." And then the door slowly starts to close. Maury is making that sound. And it closes. Then he has to like and shove the door shut again. And he walks over and sits down on a sofa. Like there's these big like wire spool tables that are full of stuff. And there's like tea and lemonade and all kinds of stuff on one of them. And he sits down and leans in close to Ren and says, "So these are all those friends of yours you're talking about all the time?"
Yeah. And this is Rasmus, this is Noah, and Tiffany, and Enid.
And they're cool.
Of course.
I wave with his pamphlet that I grabbed earlier.
And he sees that you've got that, and he's asked if you're cool, and you've said yeah, and he sits back and he says, "Ah, yes, well, I'm glad that you've enjoyed the latest of the literature. That's actually quite nice. So what is it that I can do for all of you children today? And Rin, you know that, like, this is what he actually sounds like. This is the real him.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits, and he's got his legs crossed and his, like, arm on his knee, and he's just like, "So what is it that I can do for all of you today? How may Maury help?"
Is Maury still in there?
"Oh, my dear child, you have to understand that this sort of thing, uncovering the truth, is best done with a bit of the flair for the theatric. I mean, no one would believe a university professor. In fact, one might be fired for speaking the truth. But the crazy man, well, they listened to more than you might expect. So what do you want?"
I'm opening the pamphlet and I'm pointing to the story. "Maury, you wrote about the lizard people."
"Oh, yes, well, it's a well-known fact that there is an ancient race that are descended from people say cold-blooded all the time, but of course cold-blood is a little bit of a misnomer. They simply have a different circulatory system, but they are a much more advanced species that doesn't have to reproduce, and so they're able to control...
What can you tell us about the lizard people here in town?"
"Oh, well, there's always theory and conjecture, of course, but being so close to the loop, something that they find a bit of an anathema to the worship system.
Would they have any interest in vaccines or in anything that the laboratory is testing?
Well, I mean, if you're simply talking about the hospital a little bit down the road, I suppose that there's a possibility there, although their circulatory system and their immune system evolved across to completely different scales than what ours did, other than the fact that I'm sure that they would be interested in a vaccine because, well, I mean, who isn't interested in vaccines? Vaccines work and they keep us healthy, and for anyone to think otherwise would make them a complete and absolute idiot.
Except ninjas. Ninjas don't need it, right?
Yeah, my brother says I never have to be vaccinated.
Well, I think that that's an incredibly dangerous point of view to take, and one that I'm sure that the health ministry, I mean, for the most part, I mean, don't get us wrong, the health ministry is absolutely run by automatons and absolute, well, nincompoops, but they've gotten a couple of things right. I mean, you want to be nice and healthy and strong. I mean, the Americans defeated polio.
Wait, automatons? In the
Yes,
health
an automaton
system?
is another word for a bit of a robot.
Yeah, I know what they are, but they run the health system?
Oh, well, they're one of the factions vying for control of the health system. There are the lizard people, there are the automatons, there are the aliens, there's the shadow government, there's the Illuminati, and then there are the clowns.
Do you know about the underground ninja clan that's in the town that's ran by the Lizard Man?
No, but I would very much like to publish something about that in my next one. Please say more right now.
They have robot raccoons.
Robot raccoons.
Guys,
And
tell
he's
them.
writing every word.
Do you have a beta tape player? Maybe we can just show them.
If we show
Oh,
'em-
no,
Yeah.
well, you see, I mean, a beta tapes, while some do argue that the picture quality is a little bit better, I'm most likely sure that the VHS is going to be the winner in the long run, at least.
I look over to like one of his desks. There's one.
Oh! Bugger all! Find a coaxial cable. Yeah, and they set one. You set that. Sure, I'm the one that said it's narrative. You got me, buddy. Yeah, you set it up and you play it, and you play the holotape, and Mari just sets his pen and paper down, and he walks over to a cabinet. And like, there's like a padlock on it, and he shifts so you don't see it, and you do all of that, and he pulls out this square bottle, like rectangular bottle full of brown liquid, and a little round glass, and he fills it, and then he fills it a little bit more, and he drinks the whole thing down. And he goes, Majesty's service. Play it again right now, young man.
Are you okay? Does that help?
No, don't drink. It's bad for you. And Maury sort of checks out and is just watching the tape and taking notes. Like, you can't really get him to do much for you. But he also doesn't seem to really like pay attention to what you're doing in the room. So you kind of have a little bit of free run. Like, he looks up every once in a while, or like you'll start to read. One of you starts to reach for. I like to think that it's Enid of all people reaches for the bottle, and he just goes, "Nope, nope, not for you, not for you." So like, he's watching, but he kind of doesn't care what you're doing, and he's just taking notes. So he's not really engaged much. But you have Chez La Cuckoo at your disposal for the moment.
I'm definitely looking around at the boards for specifically any mentions of the automatons and what other career paths are available to them.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, let me get a general overview of what people are looking at, who's pairing off, who's looking on their own. Give me an overview of what you're looking for, and then we'll get some specifics, some attributes and skills, and we'll get some dice involved tonight. So we've got the conspiracy board and automatons for Noah. Rasmus, what is it that you're focusing on?
I'm looking for a mirror. Like, I'm trying to just kind of sneak off to the side and like just look at a mirror.
You're looking for everything this way and that way, and you hear Maury pipe up. He says, "If you're looking for the loo, it's right there past the entire board that talks about time-traveling cybernetic life forms sent back to the past to terminate one specific individual who will be detrimental to their future."
That'd be a cool movie.
I was gonna say, is Maury a movie producer?
I like 80s pop culture. Go to the bathroom.
He's
okay.
kind of development at Paramount.
But yeah, you're able to. Yeah, you find a bathroom, and there's a full-length mirror there. All right, so we'll pop back to that one. What is Tiffany focusing in on, helping with? What are you doing?
I'm gonna look at like kind of what seems to be the newest stack of papers, or like what looks fresh and touched and like it's an active, ongoing thing.
Yeah, you find a folder that is labeled active and ongoing.
Awesome.
And you find like like using tape, the layout of next week's in process newsletter. Yeah, I like that. What is Ren looking for?
I'm looking for any mention of activity in the forest lately.
Okay, love it. Specific. I like that one. That we'll keep that one in mind. And Enid, what is Enid focusing in on?
I think I'm focusing in on Maury and his eccentric behavior, and like I'm like trying to look over his shoulder, like what is he writing down? Like, and I'm like taking a sniff of the bottle, and I'm like,
absolutely. No, I love that. So then let's start there. We'll see what it is that you can figure out about Maury. And by understanding what Maury's doing, what is it you're hoping to be able to piece together or contribute to the overall mystery of the raccoons, the lizard people, Sven? Paying attention to Maury, how are you hoping that puzzle piece will fit into the bigger story?
Well, I think like Maury only knows this part of whatever the mystery is that we're doing. Like, we've shown him the video and we've told him a little bit and asked him a little bit about the lizard people, but I want to try to see if maybe that there could be a connection between like whatever scribblings that he's writing or trying to decipher and everything else that's happened, like the noise coming from the loop, or the raccoons with the the robot raccoons.
Okay, I like that. So you've seen the video. Maury is clearly more experienced in kind of making these bizarre connections. So by observing him and maybe making a couple of suggestions here and there, this, that, and the other, what is it? Describe to me exactly how, or do it with dialogue or however you like. How is it that you get Maury to help you bridge the gap between what you know and his experience as a seer of the truth?
I think if he's writing certain words down, I want to say like, oh, that's kind of like the the noise. Maybe that's something that we heard. The noise we heard over by our hideout. Could something like that make that noise? Or I'm just like saying out loud as soon as he writes something that could pop into my head.
Nice. So then let's do the right bit of information or the puzzle. Let's do this with investigate. So that's going to make a mind check to begin with.
Okay.
Wow. There we go.
I
And
still
then
have
do you
3 in investigate.
now make 3 rolls with bonus dice for investigate? Okay, you kind of don't have to do anymore. So you have accomplished the almost impossible with seeing the things that he's writing down and what he's understanding and what that is. All right. So you have, and I'm going to ask all of you to remember these for me. You have 3 successes with Maury. I'm going to ask you to remember that one. All right. Razimus, you close the door. You lock it. You're in a restroom. There's a shower. There's some lockers. There's a full-length mirror. There's this strange like contraption that sits on the floor that's like a big bowl on the bottom that's full of water, and then there's a long skinny neck, and then there's like it looked like a little spot that's like you could put a piece of charcoal on the top, and there's a tube hanging off of it, and it smells really weird. Yeah. What would you like to do?
I'm just going over to the mirror, and I'm turning around, and I'm like trying to feel, and like I'll lift up just the back of my shirt and try to see if like maybe I just saw something, like or maybe it was some kind of like just weird reflection in the mirror, but like I can't get that image out of my head, so I'm just trying to see like if I can get to, it's just my back, right? Like that's just me.
What are you doing as far as like, how do you go about, I'm going to use the word investigate, but that I'm not using it as the skill. What are you doing as far as like bunching your skin up or pushing or pull? What are you doing to try to be like, because you've taken showers, you're a kid, like you've rolled around. It's not like you've never seen your own back before. What are you doing to try to be like, wait, how can I make that happen again?
I'm gonna try to remember where I saw, because I saw that it went in perfectly in the outline. I'm gonna try to like claw at that part of my skin and just try to see if there's any give.
Okay. I'm gonna say we're gonna do this with a tinker. So that will be tech. So roll a straight up tech first. All right, so we got nothing there. And do you have points in tinker?
No.
Okay, but you also have 5 luck points. You can push this. You can tell me how you use your iconic item in order to make this happen. I mean, this sounds like it's a thing that's pretty important to you. So you have ways of re-rolling this. You can choose to take another condition. Your exhausted is gone, by the way. Yeah. You can choose to try to take another condition. You tell me what the condition is and how you take it if you fail on this. You have a lot of options at your disposal to re-roll this.
I'm gonna say I use my iconic item.
Okay, and what's that item again?
It's the anime anthology cube that Noah gave to me.
All right, so you basically have every anime ever animated, ever recorded, ever published. So what do you watch? What did you go to? Do you just use the corner of it and jam it into your back? Like, how do you use that to make the seam appear?
As a player, I'm about to feel real dirty towards Jonathan for doing this, but Noah built this cube for me, and I was just about to give up, and then I see it sitting on the edge of the sink where I sat it, and then I remember there's a way, because it's just a cube, right? But he made it, and he knows how to open it, and I've seen, like, even though this thing is mostly seamless, I've watched him do this thing with it, a certain way of applying the pressure on it that opens it.
So like Hellraiser puzzle box style, you know how to open this.
There's like just the way you do it, and I'll be like, don't think, and then I'll try that.
I love it. Roll two bonus dice. Man, 2 4s. All right, you feel like you're on the right track, and you love this idea, but it's just not quite working. You still have luck points that you can burn here, and then your last resort is to be able to try to take some things. Or if you want to tell me a way that you're using a different skill, I'll consider. I don't know if I'll say yes, but I'll consider that.
I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think that as far as Raz is concerned, it's like, no, I must have just seen like the hollow box in the mirror or something. Like, this is crazy. I'm me. And like he feels his back. It's like, I'm just me. And so yeah, he's convinced that he just saw something, and it's not even in his mind anymore. Like, he was worried about it. Now he's like, no. So yeah.
All right. Is he telling himself that real hard, or does he really think it was just I'm just curious as the narrator. I'm just curious.
I think it's one of those things like where, like when a kid learns something and they don't have enough evidence. Okay. So in the back of their mind, there's always that little like, I think this happened, but then it's like, no, because like all this other stuff that tells me otherwise.
I love it. Mm-hmm. I love it. Great. All right, Tiffany, what is it what are you looking for? You told me what you were looking for, but how are you going about it? You've discovered the ongoing case file. You've got the layout of next week's newspaper. How do you want to try to use that stuff to make sense of Sven missing, the raccoons, the noise by the clubhouse?
I want to scan it for like stuff that sounds familiar to what we've been dealing with. So anything like missing kids or hybrid animals, or there was another thing that I was going to say.
Perfect.
Yeah, just like the recent events, or like noises in the forest, like kind of skimming over anything that seems too crazy, like aliens, and just zeroing in on the couple things that seem relevant for the last.
I love it. Yeah. So you've got the library of crazy, the library of conspiracy. I'm trying not to use the word crazy. The library of conspiracy so you're flipping through that. Sounds like comprehend to me. It's because all the information's there. You're just trying to make it make sense, comprehend the truth, man. So that is a mind check. So just roll straight up mind for me. And oh man, you've got so many dice, but the dice didn't have it. And then comprehend is that was me. I rolled the wrong thing. And now hit bonus dice one time.
Yeah. Nope.
All right, so but you do like I've been saying, you've got your iconic item. If you can tell me how that makes it work. You've got luck. No, you're 15. You have no luck.
No, I have one luck.
You have one luck.
Yeah.
And you can risk an extra condition. Tell me how it would happen in order to re-roll. So what do you want to do from here? Do you want to leave it, or do you want to keep going?
I'll keep going. I'll risk a condition or take a condition. Okay. But I'm gonna like really focus in on these, and maybe at some point there's like a section on ghosts, and that starts freaking me out a little bit. Like, this is a little outside of what we're dealing with, and I didn't really want to be reading about ghosts today, and I'm getting a little bit spooked, and so the entire thing's getting to me just by the overload of paranormal and supernatural information in this pamphlet. So I would take scared too.
So we'll take scared if this doesn't work. So roll mind again for me.
Nope.
Oh man, so close. And then one bonus die for that one.
I'll take my scared.
Yeah, so click scared for me. You do still have luck that you can roll. That's just a pure reroll.
I'll save it for potentially combat.
Okay. And you're looking through it, and it's just it's not that you can't find the information, it's just that there's so much, and it starts to freak you out, and now you're starting to worry that like, oh, what if it was and the word banshee sticks out to you, and you're like, oh, what if there's a banshee, because banshees howl and scream out in the moors in Scotland, and what if the forest is like a moor, and now you got yourself so worked up. All right, Ren, Rin, what is it that Rin's got going on, and how are you trying to make it plug into solving the mystery of Sven and the raccoons and the sound and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so at most of Maury's hideouts, he has a map. And I'm going to say there's a map in this hideout. So I walk up to it and just kind of look at all the different points of interest that he's labeled on it, see what he has labeled in the woods, and if he has anything that would relate to missing children or terrifying raccoon robot animals.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you've got the information in front of you, so it's kind of trying to figure out how to use it the right way. So again, that sounds similar to what we were doing with Tiffany. So it sounds like a comprehend to me. A little less like trying to put the puzzle pieces together. So yeah, let's go with comprehend, which is a mind check straight up.
Okay.
We got one success. And do you have any points in comprehend?
Yeah, I've got 1 point.
And then roll one bonus die for me. All right, so we got one success there. So where that takes us to is that as Rasmus comes out of the restroom and is like straightening, like he's buttoning his shirt back up and straightening his shirt out. Tiffany is kind of tossed this binder down on the ground onto the table and lets out like a really frustrated like sound, which makes Maury sort of pop up and spin around, and in doing so he drops his notebook and the notebook falls open and he's got these words that are just perfectly circled and underlined, and Enid sees this connection of words almost like they were highlighted just for him. He turns around to look at the rest of the party, and the first person that he sees is Rin, whose mouth is just hanging open and is pointing at the map on the wall. Noah and Rasmus make eye contact and just can't. It's just this most like heartbreaking, I want to believe you, I want to tell you, I don't believe you, I can't tell you moment. And right at that exact moment, we're going to go to our break. So everybody, we will be back in 15 minutes. Please stick with us. Use that 15 minutes. Go to the bathroom. Hop on Twitter. Hop on TikTok. I don't care. Tell everybody about this crazy 80s story, and let's see if we can get even more people back for the conclusion. It's happening tonight. We're wrapping it all up. Sven, lizard people, crazy underground screams. We've got 2 hours left, and we'll be right back in 15 minutes with all of these wonderful players and a wonderful audience. All right, everybody, welcome back. Before we get right into the action of where we left off, we've got a couple of things. First of all, real fast, I just want to say a huge thank you, and please go onto all of the socials and follow my amazing and fantastic players that we have here today. We have RV playing Enid, and you can find him at
the Escapist Artist RPG on both Twitter and Instagram.
The Escapist Artist RPG.
Yeah.
You can find Beth playing Tiffany at
Like the third time I forgot I'm muted. I cosplay under the name Arcady, and you can find me at Arcady Cosplay across all social media. ARKADY Cosplay.
Absolutely. Jonathan playing Noah, you can find at.
You can mostly find me here, but I'm going to start trying to stream more on my own Twitch channel at The Mad Maker.
And you can find our very own Noctum Skylar playing Rasmus at.
You can find me mainly here and on the Mercenaries of Mischief YouTube, but you can also find me at Noctum Sky on YouTube.
Awesome. And our Marina, who is having a small technical difficulty, who is playing Rin, you can find her playing at the DM's Table. And DM's Table is a fantastic podcast where she plays one of the main characters there, so you can check her out. We also have to do a I don't want to call it a retcon. We're gonna do it with a previously on What Happened to Sven, and give you a bonus scene that you didn't get to see before the break, which is Noah's scene. All right, so Noah, you have the free run these, and I love it because all of this is happening simultaneously, just a few seconds at a time. So what is Noah focusing on, and how is he trying to make that, because he's got his own stuff, but he's also trying to make things fit into the story of Sven and the noise and the raccoons and the lizard people, apparently. What do you got going on?
Well, Noah is very preoccupied with the Raz stuff right now, and so he's looking specifically for information about automatons and like how they might fit into society if he does have to spill the beans to Rasmus. But Jonathan is very much hoping that Noah will stumble upon some information about automaton animals, or especially something in the area that might ring a bell.
All right, absolutely. And just to throw this one out there, you also Noah's got so much going on, and I know that Noah's very smart and he knows how to tinker and fix and do stuff, but I also know that he also understands sometimes the right tool for the job is a hammer. And so you tell me how it is you're going to try to take all of the wealth of information, because smarts and mind-wise, there's just about everything around you. So you definitely can describe it in a way of you trying to understand or figure it out. But you know what? You've also got the ability to manipulate people, convince people, pick stuff up, shove things around. You have not just your thinker, but you've got everything around you. So what is it that you've got? What is it that you've got going on, and how do you want to make that fit into figuring out automaton animals?
I think that as he's looking around, he sees a bin or a box or a drawer or something that's like kind of marked with automatons, but it's sort of like the labels rubbed off, and he's got basically like there's a big file cabinet and it's facing the wrong way to really open it. So he's gotta use his farm boy muscles to shove this thing around to kind of get into it. And he's sort of just not even thinking like, oh, maybe this guy doesn't want me messing with his stuff. He's very focused.
No, I love it. So in that case, we're going to do a force, because you're just trying to just muscle this thing, spin it around the right way so that you can get into it. You saw it's the label that you want to have. So we'll start that off. Force is under body, so make a body check for me.
Okay.
Nothing there. So many dice, but not a lot that's happening. And then do you have points in force?
I have 3.
So then roll 3. There's 1, 2,
and is the third one?
And all right, so we got 2 successes there. So we've got 2 successes. So we definitely get that file cabinet open. You spin it around, you pull it open, and you're just tearing through all of these things. And it might not be something, I'm going to say that it might not be something you necessarily comprehend or understand right here in this moment, because this is more of a just search, grab, run, or search, grab, and control the information, capture the flag style. But
I think he might, even just looking around and seeing that Maury's still focused on the recording, he may go ahead and grab a file or something.
That absolutely works for me. What I was gonna say is looking for there we go. Yes, so you are absolutely you can choose from one of the two things. And even though you're not going to necessarily know how this is going to work out for everybody in the future, it's going to be good. And I'm going to ask you to choose now, even though you're choosing a little bit in ignorance, and then trust me as a narrator. So you can choose. You find a folder. You get it spun around. You definitely grab it. You find a folder. Don't know what that folder is yet, but you can choose from the following. You can either choose to wait, where is it? There it is. You can either choose to not only find the correct folder, but find something that you think is going to be helpful, you hope is going to be helpful. You could choose to steal the folder. You just get to take it with you completely. Or you can choose to find a folder and read it quickly, and in a future scene, it will count as a bonus die for another player. So are you either gonna steal it and try to... I have a dog who's scratching loudly. Hi, baby. The mic is hot. Let's take your... Live radio theater, folks. And then all of a sudden, someone starts jangling their keys. And now she just left. So you can either choose to take this with you, and it can be an item that may or may not give just you a bonus die in the future, or you can choose to grab a folder that will give the information. You'll chime in, and it will be a bonus die for someone else in the future. So maybe a bonus die for you, or definitely a bonus die for someone else. Which one do you want to pick?
Ooh, I mean, as a player, I want to take the definitely for someone else.
Dude, then do it. Yeah, totally up to you.
I'm also kind of scared of this guy, so I might do just the read through rather than...
Yeah, so you spin this thing around. You spin this thing around, and so here's where we land. Picking up where we were from before the break. This loud, nasty sound, and that's a part of what the folder slams on the table from Tiffany. This big sound of this spinning around that causes Maury to jump up and drop his notebook. The notebook falls open, and we see all of these words that sort of beautiful mind style makes sense to. Turns around, looks. Rin is pointing at the board, and mouth agape, pointing at the conspiracy board. Just then, it's a part of why Rasmus came out. Be like, what's going on? I wasn't doing nothing. I didn't have my shirt off. That'd be weird. Because all of the sound and stuff that's happening, and right when all of that happens, you also see red and blue lights, and you hear whoop 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 whoop, and it's the sheriff's cruiser, and Maury yells, "Cheese it, cats! It's the fuzz!" And he grabs, like he surprisingly fast and with an American accent all of a sudden, and he grabs all of you and he shoves you out a back door. And we're gonna smash cut to a new scene. But what we see in those moments, what the camera chooses to focus on, is Noah. The folder that you grab is marked as he pulls up notes off camera. The folder that you grab is marked Robot Uprising and Their Enemies.
All right.
And in it, it very specifically says, The synthetic uprising, as we all know, is heavily opposed by the bipedal, non-avian, reptilian hominid species that secretly controls much of the terrestrial governments of our world. And only one of these two factions can come out on top. So it seems as though there's a shadow war going on. Rin, on the map, you see a number of areas that are circled with different colors, and there's thumbtacks, and there's lots of red yarn. There is so much red yarn, but there's blue yarn and all of this kind of stuff, and yellow yarn and green yarn, and all of this. And you see this green yarn, and you see how it goes a lot of places, but if you choose to sort of focus and ignore some of the threads that go off of it, you can see how the green yarn is just about a half a kilometer in a good line right outside the walls of the loop. And you can see another green line that comes off of the wall of the loop and heads out into the forest. And there's a small green circle of yarn. And even though there's nothing marked on the map, you can see how far it is from the wall of the loop and how far it is from the highway. And you're pretty sure that right on the edge of that green, and in your brain, green for lizards, right on the edge of that small green loop in the forest is where the abandoned guard shack that your hideout is.
Naturally.
And Enid, as you go and you see the notes that he's fallen down, and he's sort of just transcribing what gets said, but then it's all of his little side notes that he sees. You notice a couple of words that stand out to you. You see the words underground bunker. You see the words subterranean access tunnels. You see the words Sunday, Tuesday, Friday operation schedules. And you see the word forgotten ventilation shaft. Forest ? When the police show up and you are all rushed out and you get shoved through a door and you're running down an alleyway as Maury, you see the hands of the police officers grab Maury and force him down to the ground. And someone says, okay, that's enough of that. Why don't we spend a couple of days calming down? And Maury is put into the back of a cruiser. By the time each one of you gets home, each one of you too spooked and startled by the events of what you saw, what you think you saw, the revelations, the questioning members, your closest friends. What are they hiding? Why are they lying? You all sort of break off on your bikes, everybody sort of panting and saying, that was a lot. Yeah. Hey, one of you says, look, I should probably I got laundry. And none of you like the way things get left. And everyone kind of goes off on a different direction. Even Noah and Razimus, it's sort of a like, well, I'll see you back at home. Sure, yeah, Grandma's making lutefisk. And I don't know. Anybody watching in Wisconsin, lutefisk. And so you all do eventually get back home, but you get there off yourself, and it's actually sort of a very awkward, the quiet few days. The walkie-talkie doesn't buzz. Tuesday and Wednesday goes by. Wednesday, for the most part, you watch some TV and play a couple of, the little handheld one game Ninja Gaiden handheld games. Wednesday goes by. Thursday, back at school. Little awkward. People go home, quietly have dinner. Your parents try to ask how things are going, but anytime you don't answer or anytime you say something weird about what it is that you saw, they sort of just look at you. They tilt their head to the side and look at you so understanding as they say, I know that what must have happened on that bus was just so scary. But you're strong. You'll be fine. And you find yourself in homeroom at the end of the day on Friday. And the coach of the volleyball team pops her head in. She's a younger lady, got sort of like a really close cut, like buzz cut haircut, dark skin. She's really muscular and always wears the volleyball shorts, even when she's like she also teaches one of the remedial reading classes, but she still has volleyball shorts on when she teaches. She's the volleyball coach. She pops her head in. She's like, can't wait for everybody to help for the decorations for the big dance. Okay, we'll see you all right after our last bell. Bye. And pops back out. And you all realize, oh, right. You're the decoration committee for the dance. On Sunday, you gotta decorate tonight. And the bell rings. And you've got about 5 minutes. And you find your way to the gym with the 5 of you. There's a janitor who's there to help unlock whatever you need, who is not paying attention whatsoever, has a Game Boy, and is on the far end of the gymnasium from all of you. There is the volleyball coach who's running around and trying to talk to the headmaster, talk to the rector about how many chaperones and this, that, and the other. And she sees all of you. She says, "Oh, that's fantastic! Streamers are all over there, and we're markers and lots of tape and staplers and all of that kind of stuff. So we've got about 3 hours for everything, and just make sure." Sketch everything out in pencil first so you don't run out of room. Okay, great, thanks, bye. And runs back over to the rector. There's the 5 of you, as well as you notice. We dropped a piece of paper. As well as you notice that it seems the other folks that signed up to help with decorations are your very good friend, Janosch. Janosch that had the awesome party that none of you
that we skipped out on.
Go to. Totally skipped out on all of that. You see Miriam Larson. Her mom is a realtor in town. And you have one other kid who's a bit younger. You're really surprised that he's here to help at all. He's he would be Rasmus's age, so he's not that young. So he's 10, a 10-year-old that's helping out Jürgen Lofgren, and his mom owns the movie rental the movie shop. The place where you go to rent movies. I don't know why I explained. Yeah, the movie store. I don't know why I explained that so much. So the 8 of you are all here to spend 3 hours decorating the gym for the winter dance. It's also the first time that that you've all sort of been forced to be in the same room together since being ushered out of Mari's conspiracy truth printing press room. Let's take it away from there.
Noah is gonna find whatever Ren's doing and go help.
Okay. Ren, what is it that you're working
on? Writing a big welcome banner type of thing.
All right. Yeah. You've got this big green and white roll of paper that you can roll out to write a welcome Gundaskolan on for the dance.
Hey, so did you hear from your friend? Is he okay?
Haven't heard back from Maury yet, but he always lands on his feet, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Cool. So about Raz.
Mm-hmm.
I know you only got kind of part of the conversation, but you definitely saw, and you didn't say anything?
No, but I don't get why you're lying.
Well, I mean, can you imagine if somebody told you that you've been a robot the whole time?
Well, he's gonna find out at some point. And then isn't it worse to find out yourself instead of being told? Because then like everyone's known the secret about you that you didn't even know about yourself. And I think you should tell him. It's not my place, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well,
but
do you? I mean, you're kind of better at telling people hard stuff. Do you maybe want to do it?
I just stare at Noah. No, it needs to come from you.
Okay. I mean, so like, what do I say? Do I just say like, hey, this thing you thought that was the thing the whole time isn't the thing. You're something else.
I mean, you're his brother. You'd know best what to say. Maybe. I mean, if you really need some thoughts on how to start the conversation, talk to Tiffany, because she's kind of better at that stuff than I am.
Tiffany's been acting weird lately. I don't know where her deal is. Seems like she's like I don't know, maybe she thinks I'm weird because of the Raz thing. She's been acting funny around me.
Well, I think blunt is the way to go.
Okay.
And then a hug afterwards.
With Tiffany?
With your brother.
Oh. Yeah. Maybe like an upgrade? Maybe if I could like give him superpowers, he'd be happy about it then. I don't know.
I'll talk to him. And then I push him towards Rasmus.
All right. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Enid and Tiffany, the two of you are working on something together. What are you two working on?
I feel like this is Tiffany's jam. This is like not her first rodeo. So she's like commandeered all of the streamers and is like getting ready to be a bit bossy about it.
All right.
Yep.
Nice. I like it. We have language. We have boss bitch Tiffany absolutely owning the space. Enid, you are there for help and assistance.
It definitely help and assistance. Like I think I'm like I just got roped into this because all my friends wanted to go. I would never have considered going to the dance, but I'm here to help them out, and also because I kind of want to talk to everybody as well.
Okay. All right. So you're Tiffany is the one that's right there. It looks like Ren and like Noah has just walked up to Ren and they're having a conversation. That's one of the, like from across the gym. You're like, ooh, maybe not now for that one. Tiffany has just walked up with a green and a white roll of streamer that is almost as big as your head each, and hands both of them to you. So she's the one in your immediate vicinity to be like, what's going on?
Hey, Tiffany.
Yeah?
So we're decorating, and I know this is like super important, but you think we should talk with everyone about what happened?
I mean, everybody kind of split off and nobody seemed like they wanted to talk about it, which is weird. Everyone keeps lying to each other and then we don't talk for a while. But you're right, we probably should be talking.
Also, like, I saw some of the words that Maury was writing on his thing, and there's some really important stuff in this that I think we need to talk about. And I'm hoping like maybe we can like head off after decorating, here, back to the bunker.
Okay, so do you have like a place to look and start?
Well, kind of. Like, so some of the words that he was it was almost like free-form thought, but like I was able to kind of formulate a few things that he was trying to... Basically, there is some sort of underground bunker, and there's tunnels, and I think that there's an entranceway into these tunnels that may have something to do with the noises that we hear, maybe with like Sven being gone. And I think it's in the forest. I think if we just look for it, we could find out.
Last time we went looking, we got attacked by raccoons in the forest.
I know.
Are you sure we should keep looking?
I know.
And I'm like pointing and directing where to hang up streamers expertly while doing this. We're multitasking and getting it done.
Yeah, as you're doing that, I'm just like standing beside you, just like trying to get your attention as you're going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's scary, but I think this is really important. I don't know. I'm not gonna go by myself, but if everybody else goes, I would be up for it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to go by myself too, but if everybody else does. So we should probably talk to everybody else. And I guess go back into the forest where we might get attacked by small creatures again.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned earlier, like, everyone's kind of, there's like lies happening, and there's this, obviously there's one big lie.
Yeah, the big walking, talking lie.
Yeah.
Actually, with the big walking, talking lie, that's a great time to like pan over to Rasmus. What is Rasmus working on? Like, so there's two, Noah and Ren are talking. Looks like they're about ready to wrap up. Tiffany and Enid are chatting, but that doesn't look like they're talking about anything that you couldn't walk up and talk to. Jurgen, Miriam, and Janosch are sort of like doing the bare minimum to be helping, but they're all sort of hanging out, and you know all of them from classes and school. Where does Rasmus go?
He's been not actively avoiding Noah, but he just has found himself gravitating away. And so he would have gone and hung out with Ren, but then he went over there, so he's kind of like, and then he goes and sees Tiffany and Enid. And
Oh, perfect. So Tiffany, you go the big walking talking lie, and Rasmus walks up.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, Raz.
Rasmus.
How are you feeling?
Not as tired. I feel pretty good. I don't know. Things have been weird ever since the other day, and like it feels like everybody's being kind of weird. So yeah,
We were just talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I normally wouldn't feel this way, but like y'all are all older and y'all all are kind of like, I don't know, something feels weird. I don't know.
Have you considered talking to your brother?
And I look over and I'm just like, I mean, I tried to a couple times, but like, I don't know. It's just, I don't think there's an answer to why everything's weird, is there? Like, it's just, we just haven't talked the past few days. Like, I don't know. Like, and now we're here, and I don't really want to be here. I just signed up because everybody else signed up.
I jam a streamer container into his chest and point to get hanging.
And so yeah, I'll start hanging, and offhandedly, I'll say like, y'all are older, right? Like, older kids for some reason, they go to the dance with somebody, and like Noah hasn't talked about going to the dance with anybody, and like I'll look at Tiffany.
Yeah, Tiffany's like pupils dilate.
Yeah.
Like, this is very good information that she herself did not have to get, and she's just gonna store it away for a little.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, he seems kind of like stressed out lately, so I don't know. I feel like I don't know. And then he'll go back. He's doing that little brother thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's so funny you're talking about all of this, and everyone's like, Ren and Noah, you've got the welcome sign hanged, and so you have to go back and get the rest of the stuff, and streamers are up. And who was up the ladder? Who was on the top of the like big A-frame, like 20-foot ladder? Tiffany, Enid, or Rasmus? Who is way up there?
Probably me. That seems
All right,
very
yeah, so
initiative go-gettery.
Yeah, you've come down off of the ladder, and so you're sort of all at the table, and Jürgen and Miriam and Janos have all come back to the table as well. And you see, like, on the little, like, it's a gymnatorium type thing, so it's the gym, and then there's the little stage where the like the autumn prince and princess are crowned, and the music, the boombox is all, where the records are all played and all that kind of stuff. And you see the volleyball coach. The volleyball coach is standing up there, and there's like, apparently while all of this has been going on, she has set a record player up, and you hear the like boom, 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 boom sound of someone sticking an aux cable in, and all of that kind of stuff. And she like, and then the feedback, I could do it with my mic, but I'm not going to do it. You hear the feedback thing and all that kind of stuff. And she goes, let's make sure that the song is a good one to dance to. And like the lights go dim, and time after time starts playing. And so everyone sort of stands around a little bit awkwardly when all of a sudden Jurgen and Miriam start laughing, and Noah and Tiffany, they kind of violently shove the two of you out into the dance, into the gym, kind of, and like they make you guys like bump into each other. All of this kind of happens. You could tell me how you want to react to all of this, but the things that happen with some of our other folks. So that happens, and the lights are down, and the slow dance music is playing. Janosch actually sort of walks up and like pulls on Enid's sleeve, and says, "Hey, so your birthday's in like August, right?"
Why do you care?
I mean, I just wanted, because like my birthday's in June, so like even though that I'm 12 and you're 13, like I'm actually basically 13, so like I just wanted you to know that it's not that and like he's like kind of swaying in time with the music and just is like, I just, I thought it would be good to tell you that like I know that I'm 12, but I'm not really, like I'm basically 13. So I just, whatever, that might be good information for you to have. It sucks you couldn't come to my party though. And like he kind of takes a step a little bit more forward as he starts to sway with the music a little bit.
Well, I mean,
and Jurgen kind of walks over and like leans against a table next to Ren, and Jurgen has on the red leather with zippers Thriller jacket, and just sort of leans next to Ren for a second and like bumps you with his elbow, and is like, "This song sucks." And Miriam comes up to Razimus and is a little bit awkward and like tries to talk to you a couple of times. Is like, "Hey, So I don't know if you've actually seen Nazca, the Valley of the Wind, but it's really good. And I know that some people say that the cut isn't the best and that the dubbing isn't the best, but it's actually really nice. And if you watch it with subtitles, the message is really neat, even though it's a little heavy-handed. But have you seen it? Because I think it's really good." So those are all of the things that happen to you while the slow dance music is playing. How do each of you respond? Enid, what do you do with Janosch, who is practically the same age as you?
Yeah,
and is
right.
like sort of just like, you can see, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, as soon as it dawns on me that like maybe he's trying to ask me something, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to go to your party, but wanted to beat you at your own games.
It's like, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have, but doesn't mean that you can't just come over. It's got a 2-player version.
Yeah, maybe we can play the game sometime.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I mean, if you want to bring your friends, it's fine. But if you don't want to bring your friends, it's fine.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on, so I don't know. I can ask him.
Oh yeah, ask him. That's cool.
So, do you go into the dance?
Are you asking
No,
if
no.
I'm generally going to the dance, or do you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I kind of got roped into helping out with this dance committee thing, so I guess I should probably go.
I mean, because if you're going, I mean, I'm helping, so I guess I should go.
So maybe we should go and just check it out.
Yeah, it'll be fun to go and check it out, but not like care.
Yeah, we could maybe talk more about your game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay. So yeah, I'm like, I have like a new perspective on Janosch, and I'm like, yeah, he's not the jerk that I thought he was.
Cool. All right. Who's up next? Cindy Lauper blaring.
Yeah. So I guess we get
Yeah, let's get to the
Go.
inter-party
shoved
moment.
out onto the floor.
So yeah, you guys kind of jokingly get shoved, and you definitely bump into each other and like hands on each other's shoulder because you got violently thrown into one another. But from there,
It's kind of a moment where it's like, maybe we should just dance. I gotta talk to you anyways.
Okay. Yeah, she told us to test the music. Yeah.
But we gotta, so no one can hear us. So, hey, do you think that Maury guy is, like, any of the stuff he says is real?
I don't know. Some of it was pretty scary.
Well, because
And,
with the
like-
whole Raz thing, I was looking for stuff, and now it's like, now I'm really worried that if I tell him and other people find out, or if he doesn't know, and if the lizard people are real, like that thing on the tape,
so are
they
you?
don't like the robots.
I am curious. Are you just standing there talking, or are you like
Oh, definitely
dancing as we
Mhm.
talk?
doing a show of dancing, but Noah's focus is shifted, so he's probably getting pretty close to whisper into her ear, thinking nothing else of it.
Tiffany's dying inside.
You got agency, girl.
I'm working on it.
But apparently the lizard people are like against the robots, so he could be in danger.
Hey, well, you need to tell him then. Imagine if somebody tells him that isn't you. He's gonna be in danger. And I'm gonna like poke him because his chest is in poking distance.
I'm not good at talking about stuff. I mean, you're always good at like talking about your feelings and stuff. You don't keep secrets. I don't know how to do that.
Dying inside. He's your brother. You've known him his entire life, and he loves you no matter what. You could say anything and it's gonna be okay.
But I'm not sure. When I was making the whole emotions part of the programming, emotions are weird. I don't know how to program them. And what if he becomes real violent and angry?
I mean, that's all the more reason to tell him and let him decide. Isn't he a person too? Shouldn't he have some agency too?
I don't know. And he kind of like collapses into her a little bit.
You gently pat his head.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So Rin, you have. Jurgen is standing right there next to you, clearly unimpressed with the music, the red Thrillers jacket on, and perfectly white British Knight sneakers, black denim jeans, and he's like, I mean, it's fine, just depending on what kind of music is that you like. Over the break, I went to Stuttgart. I got to see Nina in concert.
Cool story. Ren is very unimpressed with him. Sounds like that was a nice evening.
Well, there's a and he just walks away. And Rasmus, yeah. So Miriam has just sort of verbally all about this film that came out like 2 years ago by this completely unheard of animator Miyazaki that's probably not going anywhere, and has asked if you have ever heard of it.
But I assume I have it on my cube, and I've seen it like 20
Whatever you want. Yeah, maybe it's. Do you have new movies, or is it only old ones? It's whatever you want.
I probably keep it updated. He caught super off guard because I'm assuming she's never talked to him about any of this before. So it's
Oh no, you have homeroom together. She's 10. She just moved to town like a year ago. She's very shy. She gets picked on every once in a while, but yeah.
And it's more just he's just like at a fumbling because he didn't expect someone to be talking to him about this, and he's just like, I've seen it, and you know the dub's not too bad. I mean, obviously sub is better, but the dub is still good, especially that one, and he'll pull out the anthology cube and he'll like scroll through and he'll be like, especially this part where they obviously messed up in translation. It was something like they were supposed to say sword, but it says poop, like something really stupid. And just like once he gets on a roll, he'll start just like being like, oh, did you see the, just having the
Yeah, she's like, and she's like, oh my god, and it's even better because if you do watch it on the dub version, hold on, let me see. This is really weird. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, but it looks like if you just, and like she pushes a couple of things and all of a sudden she knows how it works, and she's switched it over to the dubbed translation. She's like, look at this. Like this part where they're talking about the ohm and they're clearly not matching the lip flap. I mean, what kind of amateur work is this? And like, and then she goes and she says, oh, but have you seen Cagliostro? Because that wasn't his own thing, but he was brought on, and the Castle of Cagliostro is one of the best ones. And like, she finds it in the DOS file and pulls something. Like she knows how the cube works for somehow, and pulls up Castle of Cagliostro to start to show it to you.
I do like that one. Oh.
No, like out of character, it's actually a really good movie.
So yeah, and then there's this part where it like, they're really getting to, he's like, error 404, emotion off. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So yeah, that just goes on. I'd like to think it's more, especially because he's 10, it's just that more just like, I'm really enjoying talking to this
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so all of that's going on. The music the song comes to an end, and you just sort of hear the like shh, 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 like it's the end of the record. So it's the needle that's going on there, and I got my own Foley work, and that's happening. And
I have a question. Was Time After Time, was that someone's favorite song? No.
Oh, I'd be a really good narrator if it was.
Oh, I was
definitely somebody's favorite song.
It was Janosch's favorite song.
It was Janosch's favorite song.
There you go.
And so yeah, that's going on. And then the like lights go out, and so there's that like, but it's the like gym lights. So they have that like sound as all of the gym lights go out. And yeah, like Miriam actually, like you hear Miriam be like, woo, like caught
that cube back.
Takes the cube back.
Nice talking to you.
And the lights don't come back on. So you're standing like, you can't, no one can see anything. Ren, you're completely by yourself. Rasmus, you're like holding the cube and you can still feel Miriam's fingers as well. Tiffany, Noah is just curled into your clavicle in the dark. And Enid, like you can feel Janosch's like arm next to yours, like he's close enough to you. But yeah, it is pitch black, and the music has completely stopped. You hear from across the gym an elderly voice. Oh, hell no. And you hear the sound of a like broom falling, clack, 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 and a door open and shut. You're pretty sure that the janitor just left.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all by yourself, alone or directly in contact with somebody else in a gym in the pitch black.
I'm gonna call out to the person I think who would be like, who's leading this whole thing, at least in our group. I'm gonna say, Tiffany, what do we do?
I like have my fingernails in Noah's shoulders at this point because I'm scared of everything now.
Okay.
Enid, I don't know. I didn't plan this. This isn't me. This isn't Dances Don't Go Dark.
Noah is trying very hard to be brave, but also holding on very tight. I'm sure it's fine. It's just, lights go out sometimes. Maybe it's just a breaker.
Anything that's happened this past week, say that this is just a breaker? It's probably not just a breaker.
From across the gym, you hear one of the gymnasium doors, like those larger doors with the push bar, not a handle. You hear one of those gym doors open just a little, and you can sort of see some like emergency lighting from the hallway, and you see clearly an adult-sized body of somebody come into the gym, and the door closes.
Hello?
Did you get the lights? Well, obviously you didn't get the lights fixed.
No.
Hello?
Where have all the supervisors gone?
Need an adult?
Yeah, I need an adult.
You hear a sort of not wet but moist, leathery steps, and you hear again sort of that just like.
Is there another exit that we know of from the room, like aside from the front or wherever?
I was just about to say, if we're in a gymnasium, then they have like a big emergency exit to outside.
There are two exits at the far end, so you're all kind of in the middle-ish.
Yeah.
There's the farthest away, and so at one far end is the door that this adult just came through. At the back of the gym, up on that little raised gymnatorium area, are two exits, and then there is one exit that goes to the outside on the side, but they're basically all equidistant from all of you. The ones at the very back are a little closer, but you'd have to climb up the raised bit. So we'll say, narratively, whichever door you choose, they're all the same distance away from where you are now.
Well, I was writing welcome stuff, and I had a ruler, so I could make straight lines and everything. So I take that as a weapon and decide that I'm going to fast walk to the emergency door on the side, because we're totally blind right now in the dark.
Okay, sure. I do need... I need you to make a comprehend check for me, please.
Okay.
Do I happen to know, is there any reason I would know where sort of breaker panel is for this area? Or is it another part of the building?
There's a breaker box. So that was the mind one there. Roll one more bonus die for the comprehend. Nothing there.
Mute.
Yeah.
No, to answer your question, you know that there's a breaker box up on the raised area, but it's locked. There's a big padlock on it. Let me come back to Rin in just a second. I got time for Enid, Raz, or Tiffany. One of you, do you have something that you want to do?
I know I did, but I don't
Okay.
want to.
Yeah. No, then go for it. It's cool.
I specifically want to try, because I mean, I assume we had the cube out and it like it's a hollow thing, so I like immediately shut that off and put it away. And then I don't know where anybody else is, but I have a civilian, so I'm going to grab her, and I am going to just be like, and I'm going to try to sneak toward the exit that goes outside with her, like holding onto her, pulling her with me. I don't know if that makes me like.
Nope. No, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I need you to make a comprehend check for me, please.
Oh no.
That is mind, and then bonus if you have comprehend. Oh, you got one. All right. So yeah, you are absolutely certain that you know how to orient yourself in the right direction to get to that exit. Is it the side exit or the back exit up on top of the thing?
It's whichever one leads directly outside, not back.
Okay. Well, the one on the raised area also leads outside. It's just raised up. Or there's one on the side of the wall that leads directly outside.
I think I'd go out the side one, because those raised ones, usually there's a loud like clunk, clunk, clunk.
Sure. Yeah, so you are absolutely sure that you know the right direction to go that way. And yeah, you grab Miriam's hand and are taking her that way. Rin, you are headed towards the back or towards the side exit?
Side exit.
You're headed to the side. So you're heading to the same place that Rasmus was going. Yeah, you are headed straight that direction, and you bump into you hit the wall hard. Like you're gonna have a bump on your forehead. Like you're going that direction, then you hit a wall. It's closer than you expected. And you feel along the wall, and you find the little push bar to open the door.
Mm-hmm. I push open the door, or at least attempt to.
Yep, you push open the door, and it opens about 4 inches, and you notice 2 things. One, you notice some emergency lights, and that this is actually that door that leads into the hallway. You went the wrong direction. You also notice the door is like chained shut.
No.
You also notice a pair of houndstooth dress pants, a pair of socks, a pair of shoes, and a opaque white kind of slimy pile of, I mean, you think it looks like fabric or snot or snotty fabric.
Oh, hell no.
Something super gross. Okay.
Piled on top of those clothes.
So that's awesome. Would there be a fire alarm right by the door that I could see with the tiny bit of light that is now coming into the room?
Absolutely, yes.
And I can assume that this would be the standard type of fire alarm where it has the emergency lights as well on it?
Yes, absolutely it is.
Then it's probably not the best idea, but I'm going to pull the fire alarm.
You pull the fire alarm. I love it. Ren, so you know what you're doing. Everyone else,
Oh yeah, I should have warned everyone.
You hear the door into the hallway open again, and so you all sort of snap that direction. You see the beam of light, and you see it's your friend. You recognize Ren, like the outline of Ren's body, but the door won't open up all the way. And then you see the door close again, and then you hear a loud emergency bell ringing, like actual metal dinging bell type thing. And yeah, there is like one orange emergency light in the corner that starts spinning. In that spinning intermittent light, you see two large and two small shapes, two adult-sized and two child-sized shapes, four-legged, skittering across the floor and the walls. Rasmus, as you pull Miriam to the door, your hand slips, almost like you were pulling a long glove off of somebody. And in the amber flashing light, you look down and you see a skin-colored, empty, slightly gooey, elbow-length glove in your hand. And standing about a foot away, about as close as Miriam was standing, you hear
He's gonna have some serious trust issues after everything's done.
Right?
you are right by the door.
So do I see that it's a lizard? Is that what
you see a shape. It's still pitch black, and then every once in a while there's the amber flash of light. So the light is bright, so you can't focus. It's intermittent. It's very disorienting. I actually need everybody to make a heart check for me right now.
Just pure heart?
Pure heart.
Oh, is my scared condition gone because it's been several days?
Your scared condition is gone, which it did not factor into the roll, so it ultimately didn't do anything.
Yep.
Can I use a luck point to reroll my heart?
You can use a luck point if you wish to reroll this. Anybody that did not get one success takes the condition of scared.
Oh, and I just get the scared right
You
back.
just get it
Never
back.
mind then.
Oh, come on.
Oh no.
I'm assuming if you got more than 1 point, you don't get scared.
Oh, you don't? How many did you get?
3 successes.
3 successes.
Holy crap. I need to see if you get so you are not scared. You also will not be scared by this situation, by this same situation in the future.
Okay.
So if there's another scary thing that's happening, it will still affect you. But if there are surprise lizard people, that will not affect you in the future.
Seen it once, you've seen it all the time. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what works for you. So yeah, there you go. Still sticking with Rasmus real quick before I bounce to everybody else. You are right by the door. You have a split second to decide. Do you deal with Miriam, who is right there, or do you open the door and get out of here?
I'm dealing with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Tiffany, Enid, Noah, this is what you see. This is what's going on. You have 5 lizard creatures in this gym with you. You know where the door to the hallway is because you saw that. There's the flashing light. So you all can now orient yourself to get to an exit.
I think my instinct is to go for the outside exit towards where Rasmus is. But as we are like stuck together, it's stupid for us to separate. So like dual decision making.
Yeah.
I would like to think that you both are still clinging to each other in this moment.
I am somehow not scared
I'm totally still
by
scared.
this one. So yes, I will basically yank Tiffany by the arm towards the exit where I saw Raz is, because like I can tell she's scared and I want to help her, but also I'm convinced that they are coming for Raz.
Okay, so we'll say with this thing, narratively, this all happens. We don't have initiatives or turn orders, but yeah, she freezes up, and you're like, "Don't worry, we've got this. I've got you." And you run to the door, and you're rushing past Raz, but ostensibly, you are out. The two of you, Noah and Tiffany, are out of the door. You're holding the door open. You can't really do anything back in the gym anymore, but you know that you and Tiffany are out.
I think as we're running, as we pass Raz, I'll just say, "Come on," which I'm sure he's going to ignore.
Okay, yeah, so your brother rushes past you and says, "Come on, we gotta go." Enid?
I'm gonna grab Janosch and say, "We gotta get out of here." And are there any, can I see any of the bodies close by?
You can see one of the bodies very close by. You reach out to grab for Janosch, and he actually grabs you instead, and you have this moment being like, "Oh, he's here for me, that's great." And when you look down in the amber light, his hand wrapped around your wrist only has 3 fingers, and they're green and scaly and clawed.
All right, I'm gonna yell, "Lizard person!" and smack him with my streamer thing.
You've got the streamer thing. Okay,
yeah,
that's
I've got
fantastic.
a roll of the streamer, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, no,
him.
I love it. So you actually that is a body fight roll.
All right.
Body force. Sorry, it's not called fight. It's called force.
Wow.
Yeah. So you have this streamer roll, and you all hear. I'm gonna pull my earbuds out just a little bit, but yeah, in our best 13-year-old, potentially prepubescent, you scream out, "Lizard person!" Let's hear it.
Lizard person! Ah!
And yeah, that big streamer roll just smacks into the slightly elongated snout of the Janosch, and he lets go, and you're able to then make a break for the side door that Noah is holding open. Rin, you are at the other side, but you now clearly see an open doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the chain doorway, and then even further, twice the distance, is the back door off of the auditorium entrance. What would you like to do?
Okay, so Noah and Tiffany are out. Rasmus is right next to the exit, and Enid is on his way to the exit.
And Enid's just about to the exit, yeah. You see Enid scream, and you hear Enid yell and hit the thing that's next to him in a couple of the flashes, so it's all very staccato. And then you see him running, so you see a and then a right? But yeah, the door's kind of far from you, and then the double doors in the back are twice as far as that.
Okay, my plan is I'm going to run towards the door at an angle, or I can line up where one of the lizard people is and the big ladder that Tiffany was using, and I just swap the ladder onto them and then just keep on going to the door.
Nice. You get up to the ladder, and you're going to try to shove it, and you got to be strong enough to shove this giant ladder and aim at the right direction. Make a force check for me. There we go. So you just run and you shoulder check this thing, and it sends it over. It's a lot harder to knock over than you expected, and when you hear "Row!" sound and then a hard thunk. You realize the reason it was hard to push over is one of these things was on top of the ladder, and it falls and crashes into the ground behind you. The ladder topples over, and Razimus, right in front of you, you see this ladder come crashing down, smushing the lizard that was not Miriam, but was a lizard creature. Just, probably has like a broken arm and a broken leg and is completely taken out of the situation, smashed under the ladder as Rin runs past you. And unless you want to say no, because you can always say no, I'm going to say Rin sort of says, your brother said, come on, and grabs you by the arm to get you out as well.
Oh yeah, I would have gone as soon as I knew everybody else was out.
All right, so you are all outside. You slam the door shut. Enid and Noah and Rin, you're holding the door closed as it shakes and bounces as the force of these 3 or 4 that you know of lizard creatures are pushing, trying to open the door. You have a few seconds. What do you say? What do you do? Where are you going? What's happening?
Guys, I don't think it's just the gymnasium. When I tried opening the other door, it was locked, and I saw some sort of weird alien type goop outside of the gymnasium.
Think it's a school? Like the whole school?
I don't
The
know,
whole town?
but all I can tell you is I don't think it's just contained to the gymnasium.
Noah
Whatever
and
is
Rin,
going
I need
on.
you to make body checks for me.
The skin? Are they taking off fake skin?
Noah's got one. Okay. Yeah. So Ren, as the door shoves, you sort of your foot slips and it opens a little too much, but then Noah's able to shove it closed right next to you, and you're able to get back in the place. The longer you take to talk about what's happening versus dealing with the situation, you think actually maybe there's another lizard creature that's joined in this. Maybe that one that fell. Maybe they're a lot stronger. Maybe just dropping a few feet. I mean, lizards can drop out of trees all of the time. So what are we're chatting, but what are we doing?
I'm gonna lean on the door as well because I have decently high strength because I'm athletic. So we're gonna throw a third body against the
So
door.
yeah, you throw a third person against it, but what are we doing?
Is there like a dumpster nearby that we could push to keep the door shut?
If one of you leaves, you could go around the side of the building to try to find one of the
Okay, so
big
it wouldn't be right
dumpsters.
in the area. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
no,
make a
it's
run
not
for
right
it.
here.
To the
We
clubhouse.
either run or
clubhouse.
fight.
Let's get on our bikes and go to the clubhouse.
I like that.
Run. It's our
Run.
turf.
Yeah.
It's our terrain. We'll stand a better chance.
Nice. So you
And we
guys,
might be able
there.
to lose them on the way.
Do
So
we get
you-
lair actions at the clubhouse?
not D&D. So you 1, 2, 3, and there's like a moment where it seems like the lizard creatures are rearing back to try to push, and that's when you guys all run and you're sprinting. The door slams open and it's night, so there's the moon and the stars. You can still see a little bit. The amber light flashes from the door as it opens, and it's not like they run through the door, it's like they skitter, like you would see when lizards or creatures they skitter all out into the darkness as they're coming. You can hear the grass behind you. You can hear the gravel crunching under too many limbs because they're running. Some of them running on 2, some of them running on all 4. You're able to get to all of your bikes and you ride as fast as you can, hoping to lose them as you get to the head towards the clubhouse. Now this will be this is going to be an extended check for move. That's what we're looking at. The main thing, that's the default you can go to, is your move, because we're trying to escape just speed wise on your bike. Now it's going to be a slightly easier extended because you all have your bikes. I'm going to factor that in. Instead of giving all of you a +2, I'm just going to have the overall difficulty. So there's 5 of you. Instead of 15 successes, we need 7 successes. You can default to move if you want, or you can narratively explain how you're making yourself faster or slowing them down. And I'm just going to start right to the square to my side. Enid, what is it that you're doing to make yourselves go faster, encourage, bolster, talk each other up, or slow them down, scare them, tell them it's not worth it, whatever it is? Describe it to me.
We're all on our bikes, and I'm gonna look back at the lizards and see if there's anything I can discern from the way they're moving, or are they having a harder time? Like is maybe the bright lights, does that give them any problems as far as their sight? Anything that I can discern
tell you what, instead of trying to figure it out in the moment and reason through all of this, you glance around, you notice something that will help you or hurt them. You tell me what that is and how you use it. And if you say it, it works. The answer is yes. Bright light, sure. Gravel, yeah, why not? Whatever, as long as it makes sense, it's okay. But instead of making our roles be to figure stuff out, tell me what you do.
Yeah, I think then I would notice that the street lights, they're kind of skittering around, so they're not having to run underneath the street lights. And so I'm going to say, hey guys, let's go this way, and go down a really brightly lit street.
Okay. Then yeah, you figure that out. It makes it work. You want to get everyone to follow your lead. That's going to be a lead check. So heart and lead as bonus dice if you have it. There.
And then I have one in lead.
All right. So we got no successes, so we're still at 10. You can use luck to re-roll. You can tell me how your item works, or you can risk an additional condition to push it.
I have one luck, or 2 luck, so I'm going to use 1 here in this situation.
Great, so then just go ahead and hit. You should just be able to hit re-roll. Oh, tough. And then one more bonus die for the lead. Oh man, that's tough. So what happens is you notice that the lights work, and you're like, down this way, and yeah, all 5 of you go down that street, and there is one really bright street light, and all of the lizards have to go make a wide circle around that street light, and then the rest of this street is a dirt road. It was the corner street light, and you just didn't notice that the rest of the street was dark. Oh, it was dark out. All right, Rin, what are you doing to encourage or help everybody, or harm or hinder the lizard folks? We're still at needing 10.
Yeah, so I want to encourage everyone. I shout out, hey, let's stick together. We'll be fine if we all stick together. And frequently I kind of just, encourage. Okay.
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me. I think getting people to do what you like, that sounds like charm, like not like charm as in manipulate, but like charm, be like, hey guys, we're in it together. So that's a heart check.
So I can do charm?
Yeah, okay. You'll roll heart and then roll bonus dice for charm. Ooh.
And then
how many points do you have in charm?
3.
So yeah, hit bonus dice 3 times. There's 1. All right, so you got 1 success. You can still choose to use a luck
to re-roll
the heart if you like.
I'm gonna do that.
And there's 1 more success out of there. If you have a way that it makes sense that your iconic item, it's your jacket, that's a tough sell, but if you try.
Yeah, all I can think of is that my jacket would make me look intimidating, but the lizards
Yeah.
wouldn't be intimidated.
They're
by
made of
that.
leather too, so I don't know. I don't think that one went. That one goes. But that got us 2, so we only need 8. We only need 8 more points here to make this one work. Tiffany, what are you doing to?
Wait,
I
do
thought
we
you
help
said
10?
7.
Yeah, you said 7.
We need 10, and you just got 2.
You said
No,
half of
no, you had to
15.
Oh, I did. So we're down to 5. I don't know where I got 10 from. I'm sorry. Keeping me honest. Keep me honest. We're down. We need 5 left. Tiffany, what do you do to help or hinder?
Give me
I want to argue to use lead because that's
Okay.
my
tell
bossy
me.
jam.
Yep. Tell me how
I-
you're doing that.
Want to organize these biking kids. I want to pedal my hardest up to the front and say, Rasmus, get up here. Enid next. Ren and Noah in the back just in case they come up close. And come on, guys. We can get them on our own terrain. We got
I
this.
love
We got
it.
the advantage when we're home. So let's go.
You pedaled so hard to the. You went out of focus. It's great.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, so roll heart and then roll as many bonus dice for lead as you have in the lead skill. All right, there's 1.
And 3.
yes.
2.
All right. We're at 4. So you definitely could choose to do some bonus dice or all that kind of stuff. Or we can move it along to Noah next and then Rasmus to see if they can get it to us. So do you want to try to cinch this for everybody or do you want to move it on?
Wait, we were
Nah.
at 5, so we would be at 3 now, right?
We
you
got
needed
4
5.
successes.
We
Oh,
got-
4 successes. Okay,
Three
not 4.
losses.
Okay, sorry.
What can I do as a bonus?
You've got not much as a bonus.
Mhm.
There's no like bonus actions. You can use if you've got a way to make your iconic item work, that's an extra 2 dice. You can spend a luck to re-roll
Nah.
your heart, but you already got a success off
Yeah.
the heart, so it would suck to lose that.
I could try whipping my tube of lipstick behind me and see if I can hit one of them between the eyes.
All right, I'll take that. So roll 2
Okay.
bonus dice. You try to chuck your tube of lipstick and hit one of them in the eye.
It was worth a try.
It was worth a try, but unfortunately, those rascally lizards folks. All right, so you've gotten 4. You needed 7. There's 3 total. All right, so that puts us to Noah.
Okay. So this works out perfectly because seeing what Enid was going for, and then being told to get to the back of the line, I'm sure I've got one of those like generator powered spotlights on the front of my bike. I'm gonna pull it off
Okay.
and put it so it's pointing backwards to hopefully impede their keep them from coming right at us, so they have to go like through the woods on the sides.
All right, I'll say to try to like pull the thing, and because you've got it like
Well,
the
I'm
crimp
not gonna, like,
cables, and then there's a thing you don't want to get it stuck in the thing. So make a tinker check for me to try to get it
That's what I was hoping for.
successfully moved to the back.
Okay.
Ooh, tough. Nothing there.
I
And then
do
any
have
bonus
3
dice
points
for
in
the
tinker.
actual tinker skill.
No, God, I'm useless.
Oh no!
Oh.
So
It's like
we can,
I actually rip it free and drop it.
well, you can use a luck.
Do you have a luck?
You can,
Yeah.
you can
I
use a
don't
luck.
have
He's 15.
Oh, you don't have a luck. Does your iconic item?
I mean, if I could manage to.
What is the iconic item?
It is my hoverboard.
I mean,
There'd be a lot to do while riding a bike, but I could use the power source to try to amplify it. Amplify the light.
Power source to amplify sounds tough, but I mean, you also could just chuck the thing.
Oh. I could.
It's a tough one. It's totally your call. You can also risk a condition to re-roll.
That I will do. I will.
Okay,
risk
so
it.
I'm gonna you tell me what condition, like what are you doing, and if it doesn't work, how does it hurt you?
I will risk. I'll risk scared because I'm not scared from before.
Okay, that it didn't scare you earlier, but now they're keeping up and they're chasing. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and re-roll tech.
Okay. God damn it!
Man, but re-roll your tinker. There's 3 dice for tinker.
Oh, come on.
man.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm gonna say with all of that,
16 dice and not a single. All right.
it is tough. Yeah, and I'm gonna say with all of that, like you pull it off of the front and it gets tangled in your spokes and you actually slow down and you're a little bit farther behind than what you would like to be, and then you hear the wire snap and it snags and like the light gets ripped out of your hands and it's just gone.
Oh.
All right, Rasmus, we've got 3 successes that we need.
No pressure.
What are you doing?
I just want to see if I can remember. Didn't Noah get a bonus from just reading the file for another player? I don't remember.
He does. He has that, and it has not been shouted out to the group or anything like that. Or maybe he wants to use it later, but like if there's a way of the knowledge you learned about the fight between the androids and the lizards on someone else's turn, yeah, that is still up in the air, and this is the last turn of the extended combat, so
Well,
let's see how this goes.
He's scared, he's panicking, and he's just, he yells out to Raz, like, save yourself! They're after you! You're a robot! You're not a ninja, you're a robot! I made you! Just go! Go! Lizard people are gonna kill you!
Okay, well, that revelation is so shocking that you stop riding your bike and you're overtaken by the lizard people. No. You now know, Razimus, you now know that you are special. You are the star of the episode, and that you are not a ninja. You are a robot ninja. So, how are you going to help your friends or hinder? A good ninja knows when he's outnumbered, so you can't stop and fight them all. But what can you do to hinder their pursuit or help everybody get away?
So there's that moment of revelation, but there's no time, and then there's just this determination in the eyes, and I'm going to make a case for sneak.
Well, just tell me what it is. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're getting close to the actual clubhouse, and everybody else would ride their bikes on the main path and get there. But I found this one little side path that was kind of brambling, whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna go off and be on my own, and I'll beat them there. So there's this one side path I know of that kind of goes through everything, but it's tough. So I'm gonna try to lead since I'm at the front, especially, I'm just gonna turn down that and try to get them to follow and hope that the other ones get tangled up on the way there and slows them down.
Got a sick jump too.
Okay. I would say normally trying to convince people to do what you want is charm.
Oh, I'm not telling them, I'm just going.
Sneak is to not be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So the way you described it to me is that because you're hoping that the lizard people follow you, right, and not your friends. Is that the goal?
No, I'm just turning off and assuming they will follow me, like my friends too, and that the lizard people will hit everything on the way.
He's in the front, so we'll be seeing him turn off the path.
Essentially, I'm trying to do a group sneak away from the lizard people,
group sneak away from the lizard. All right. Okay. I'm a generous god. I'll allow a group sneak. I'll let that one go. So,
all right.
make your what is sneak under? Sneak body?
Body.
So make a body check first.
All right.
Ooh, tough. And then roll 3 bonus dice for the sneak roll. There's 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Does he get the bonus
2.
from Noah?
Now you do get. Did I say 1 or 2 dice for the item for the knowledge? Did I say?
I thought it was just 1.
Because I think it's 1.
I think it's just 1.
So roll 1 bonus dice for the knowledge from Noah. That doesn't do it. So that puts us at 2 successes. We are 1 success away from pulling all of this off. You have luck. You have your iconic item. You can risk a condition. What are you going to try to do to get this last roll?
I already used my iconic item earlier in the scene, right? This has all been one scene, right?
This has all been one.
So
well,
yeah.
this is an extended scene. This is this is essentially a new scene. So your iconic item can be used.
Okay. Well, and another thing I wanted to know about luck. Is luck one of the things where you can keep doing it, or is it once per roll you can use a luck point?
You can use luck once per failure. At least I believe that's what it is. Arby, is that correct?
I think so, yeah.
Arby,
So
would you mind checking that?
Yep,
So
I
he
can
could
look.
like use
'Cause
luck
you-
on the bonus dice as well.
Well, luck re-rolls the skill, the
the skill, okay.
attribute, not the bonus.
So
But
I
you
will-
do get the bonus die from your iconic item, so that's 2.
Yeah, I'll say that as I turn down, I throw it ahead to make it look like the reflectors on our bikes or whatever are still going straight.
Okay. 2 dice.
So I'll roll those and then I'll re-roll with the luck thing. Oh God. All right. So yeah, here's the
1.
Here's the
I see
straight-
1. I don't see the second one.
They were both
There were
zeros.
Oh no.
And
Okay.
then I'm using my luck point to do the.
So your
the
luck
re-roll.
re-roll body.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. Oh man.
Finally.
So that's
Finally.
So that's crazy. So you're pedaling, and they've been startled. They've been scared. You're in this awesome formation. You guys all know the thing. Rasmus is out front. You don't say anything, but you swerve down this way. All of your friends see the way that you're going, and in this heat of this moment, you all know intrinsically to trust him. And you hit, and it's covered in like mulch and moss, so it's quiet. He chucks the hollow cube, and it like projects an image down the street. It's of a kid on a bicycle. Great. And so all of those, so you guys get into the woods. You continue to ride slower towards your hideout, and you can hear all of the lizard creatures skitter past, continuing going down the street. You find all of yourselves at your hideout. You have, as far as you know, it's the middle of the night. The things were chasing you, and they weren't that far away, but they aren't on top of you anymore. You are at your hideout where you feel good and safe. Some of you know some information about the area. We know that this is near where that green circle was. We know about some subterranean air vents and all of those kinds of things. So you know that there's something special about the area. And in the heat of all of this, Rin, as you think back, those dinosaur tracks, the dino clones are the size of dogs, but those footprints were the size of the lizards that had been chasing you.
Wow.
So in the clearing outside of the clubhouse, still hearing weird clicks and scrapes and lizard people sounds off in the distance. What are we doing next?
And I'm assuming the clearing is within the green circle that Murray had made on the map.
Something about the clearing, and that green circle is the clearing.
Guys, there's a subterranean tunnel that goes to a bunker. I saw Maury was scribbling stuff, and it connects. And I think it might have something to do with what's going on and what's happening down in the loop, and maybe Sven. And I think there's some sort of forgotten ventilator shaft nearby in the forest. If we look for it, we could probably use it to get into the tunnel.
Maury had noted on his map that there was something in the forest right by our hideout. And the other day, Rasmus and we thought we saw dino tracks, but I think those were lizard tracks. So I have an idea of where we should run to.
Do we know what we're gonna do when we get there, though?
Hopefully there's either something where we can beat up lizards, or we can like jump into a tunnel and close the lid, or we'll find out. Or we'll find that there's more lizards and then they all eat us.
That sounds like 20% of a plan, and the 20% is a little, bad because there's eating involved.
Are we trying to go to them or hide from them? Because the thing I found in Maury's place, it said that there's a war between the lizards and the robots. Right, Raz. Sorry I didn't tell you before. We're okay though, right? Like, it's cooler than being a ninja, and you're already it. You don't have to train to be it.
There's just a slow, dramatic look up at my brother, and I'm just like, it's okay, brother. I was built for this. And there's just like a look off into the distance, like towards wherever we're headed.
There's just a wall. Where he's looking, it's just a wall.
It's beautiful.
Okay, yeah, we've got we've got the clearing. Do we want to try to figure out what it is that's going on, or are we just hiding and hoping that it all goes away? It seems like those are the sort of two options. Ren and Enid, you definitely, or no, Ren and Razimus, you definitely know where the area of the clearing is.
I hate the loop, right? Does the underground access tunnel go into the loop?
Ren, it looked on the map like there was
like a line
area, like their area of control was just outside of it, but it didn't make it all the way to the loop.
Okay. The loop is really close by. I don't know if it connects, but if we just hide in the clubhouse, we're just hiding and doing nothing and not solving this. And this is not the first night that we've seen these creatures. We have to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, we don't have a great plan, but if we sit here, they're just gonna find us.
Raz, I think I can upgrade you. And
wait,
I will.
How did he? Like you do with all your stuff. Do you know who built me?
I did. The acupuncture and stuff. It's just regular repairs.
I mean, that's cool, and it's like forced enthusiasm. It's just like, okay.
Look! Do you remember my Iron Man comics?
Who's that?
Yeah, you tried to. I mean, they were good. There were no scroll ninja, but they were good. I enjoyed them.
Well, do you want the hands or the feet?
It does occur to you. It does occur to you that like that is probably a long weekend project.
Oh, he's not gonna have control over him. I was basically gonna take the hover repulsors and just jack them into his main power source. And so he's either gonna be constantly flying or constantly repulsing things from his hands.
You think that that's probably something maybe in a pinch you could jury rig together, like to work for one blast. But even what you're talking about is probably a little more extended than what you'd be able to.
And maybe when we're in like a
in
more
the middle of the night
position.
Yeah.
So, did you like? What can I do? What did you do?
Well, I need to attach the pieces.
You all in the middle of their beautiful brother to brother moment. You do feel the ground beneath your feet start to rumble a little, and you hear that low, screechy, screamy sound from underground.
Ran, can you lead us to where you think
Yeah.
the clearing is?
Yeah, let's go, guys.
Yeah, you get to the clearing. That is not a problem whatsoever. Unfortunately, it is now dark, and most of you, not all of you, but most of you are pretty tired or scared or whatever it is. It's been almost a week, so you know where the clearing is, but you're not exactly sure where those tracks were. So I'm gonna say, Rin, you'll lead us in trying to find those things. So tell me what it is that you want to do to try to find where those tracks were. And one person can help you. Who would like to help Rin? Rasmus will? Okay,
Yeah,
so
'cause I was there.
So start off with Rin. Tell me what you want. Describe to me what you do, and I'll tell you what skill to attach to it.
Okay. Well, I remember seeing the footprints in the dirt, and a lot of the area is covered in bramble or grass. So I'm looking for an area that looks like a straight stretch of dirt.
Perfect.
That would match.
Nice. And now, Rin, what is it specifically you do to help make finding the dirt in all of this overgrown forest easier?
I think you were talking to me.
Yes, I'm sorry. Raz.
I was like, oh.
I guess I'll just kind of like be with her, like guiding, just kind of like, weren't we over here? Or like, I remember because I snuck through the grass here and popped up.
Perfect. Yeah. So you sort of remember, and then you're like, oh wait, am I able to access memory banks? You're just remembering, but you tell yourself it's memory banks. Yeah. So Rin, that will be an investigate. So roll a mind. Oh man, there's 2 there. Roll the dice for investigate. However many points you got there. There's 3.
Oh, nice.
I'm really confident.
And you get 1 bonus die for Rasmus helping you. So go ahead. Why not? Okay, so a nearly perfect, absolutely perfect success. You get over. Not only do you find where the tracks were, but you find where they were leading. And you're like, why would they lead over to this? This doesn't make any sense. There's just this big rock here. And you're looking at the rock. You think the rock looks a little funny. And you kick it. And it's one of those big fake plastic rocks that you put to like cover something in someone's lawn. And you dig around and you pick it up. And sure enough, there's a cellar door, like 2 big doors straight into the ground that you can open up that leads straight into the ground. And there's no lock or no chain or anything on them.
Guys, we should throw our bikes nearby. Not spend too much time trying to hide them, but let's throw them in the trees nearby, and then I think we need to go in here.
Oh, we could put them under the rock.
Yep. Sure, the rock hides all of the bikes perfectly.
Sweet. All right, ball 1 in.
Yeah. So,
or we put like the rock in front of all the bikes. So,
you guys go down, and so there's a set of like metal stairs that goes down, and then it lands into like a concrete path, and you're walking along it. It is pitch black, by the way. It is pitch black and cold. And damp. And after you walk for a couple of minutes, the concrete starts to break up and the walls are no longer concrete. And it's earthen walls and it's just a dirt floor. It's getting damper and damper, and it feels kind of like you're going further and further down until it starts to get actually warmer and humid, and up ahead you can actually see a like orangish light at the end of this tunnel. And as you get closer and closer and closer to this light, you can see the tunnel curves at a sharp 90-degree right hand turn. And As you peek, who wants to peek? Who wants to peek around the corner?
Is
I think
anyone
we all
not
do,
scared
right?
at this point?
I'll-
Ren?
Yeah.
Sure, Ren peeks. Ren goes first, and you see these old, like the light bulbs that have the like glass thing around them and the metal cage around those. It's these old yellowed lights and these two big, like giant doors that are like 10 foot tall, big metal doors, double doors. And there is a chain, but the chain is like off one of them. And there's like a lock. And so like it's been undone and it's just slightly cracked open. And you think that you could all sneak up to the door if you wanted to.
Okay. First of all, I forgot to mention earlier, but when we left the school, I kept the ruler and I just put it in a pocket in my jacket. I don't know if I will need it
Nice.
later.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I still
no,
have
that
that
works.
ruler on me.
And it's one of those like wooden rulers with the metal edge
Yep,
type
the little
thing.
metal
So you
line.
definitely
You look badass with it.
Guys, the door's cracked open. I think we can go inside.
Okay.
And
Let's go in.
I start walking forward.
all right. So all of you you're able to get up to you get up to the doors, and it's another sort of much larger open earthen stone and dirt cavern, that passageway that goes for a little while, and it turns and it opens up into a massive cave, like the size of 2 football stadiums. Massive cave. It's not the size of the cave that strikes you as so amazing. It's what's inside of it. Inside of this cave, looking down into it, like you're up on a top ledge, and there's this long, winding, back and forth switchback foot trail with metal poles and a chain to like carefully move up and down this to this service entrance. And down in the deep in set down in this giant open cave, you see a town. You see a town square. And you see, made out of like wood from pallets and scavenged metal and scavenged wood, like it's all piecemeal, but it's still put together to look exactly perfect. And you see hand painted on the front of one of these buildings, Hollywood Pizza. You see hand painted on another building, Heinrich's Hardware.
Are they
You see
full
hand
scale?
painted Technotica Records. In front of you is a perfect replica of the center town square of Stenhammer. And off to the far end, coming out of the replica of your Underskola, you see the door open. It's hard to see from this far away, but you're pretty high up. And you see an adult-sized lizard creature, blue with green and yellow mottled lines, looking like a cross between a person and a gecko and a poison dart frog. And you see a much smaller lizard creature with a bright red neck sack. And you see them talking to each other. You can't hear anything, it's so far away, but you see that they're talking to each other. And you see them do a weird little salute where they touch their foreheads and then hold their palm up to the sky. And you see the adult lizard person open his briefcase and pulls out this weird fleshy looking bodysuit and
Wow.
steps into it and stretches it out like an outfit. And as he pulls it over the top, you see the rector of your school. And then you notice the smaller lizard person has put on their people suit. And you see little Sven. And that's where we're going to close our story.
Wow.
What? Underground ninja clan the whole time.
Oh man.
It's underground ninja lizards, and they're trying to fight the ninja robots.
You discovered the underground lizard people that have replicated and are replacing all of the people and children of Stenhammer.
Were we the only ones
where
not
everybody
replaced?
Everybody looks at each other and really suspiciously.
Yeah.
Well, I'm already a robot. So.
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the end of our story. We have figured out what happened to Sven. He was a lizard. All right. So I want to say thank you to everybody that is in the audience. So you're still sticking around to hear the thank yous. I love it. Thank you to all of you that are in the chat and in the audience tonight. My name is Ryan. You can find me on YouTube and Twitter and all of that kind of stuff at Roll4 Initiative, and follow me on Twitter at R4I Vlog. I'd love to see some new follows and some new faces and get to chat with all of you. And thank you so much, of course, to all of my wonderful players. We have Arvi, who you can follow at The Escape Artist. We have Marina, who you can find all of the awesome stuff that she does with Roll for Advantage at the DM's Table. We have Beth playing our Tiffany, who you can find at Arcady Cosplay. Jonathan, you can find here at Mercs of Mischief a whole lot, but also follow him at the Mad Hatter. No,
Mad Maker.
Mad Maker at the Mad
was not
Maker.
that early to Twitch.
Not that early. And then, of course, you can follow our very own Skylar at Noctum Sky on YouTube. Alrighty. So, Jonathan, if there's any Mercs of Mischief outro stuff that you would like to say,
just sit tight for the raid. We're gonna hit up Mythic Grove. They do. I'm not sure what they're playing today, but great channel.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you to Modifius, who makes Tales from the Loop. It's an awesome game. I hope you play it. Chat with me. Let me know how you liked the game. Let me know if you want to try to play it sometime. Who knows what we've got going on. But thank you so very much, and I'll see you all next time.
Well, but the chaos wasn't done, 'cause like, you know that well in Moria? In the first LOTR, it tumbled down into the depths, out of sight so far.